Breece Hall's had enough. Breece Hall has had enough, and he says that he's just proving that he's still the guy. This is his goal and objective for 2025. That he's still one of the best in the league, and he's just trying to go out there every week and prove that I deserve to be out there. He's hungry. He's hungry. He's not complacent. This is exactly where we want him to be. Fields is the quarterback we want him to have, despite the chatter and the other show telling you basically Fields doesn't check down to his running backs. We know this. How do we know this, Steve? Well, we know this, Bill, because he's been handcuffed in Chicago. He's been handcuffed in Pittsburgh. Truly, we've never really seen him. Actually, yeah, we've never really seen him in a good environment with a great defense and a great team and a great staff. Maybe we've been wrong about Justin Fields. That's what they're telling you. That's what they should be telling you. That's what they should be correcting their thinking and telling you. Everyone that says this guy doesn't deserve to be considered a sleeping giant top 5 to 10 running back is out of their mind. Everybody that acts like he can't return to top 5 running back numbers is biasly against him, or biasly against Justin Fields, or biasly against the Jets, or just mad that Breece Hall didn't work out last year to the tune that he should have. It's not like we're asking you to draft him where you drafted him last year. It will be one thing if I said, hey everybody, Breece Hall is going to be top 5 to 10. Okay, he's going to be top 5 to 10. Now let's go draft him in the top 12. That was last year. I could understand apprehension. I could understand being a little bit scared of doing that in a situation where scared money might not make money, and you're not sure you want to spend the money. I get it. I understand it. But one thing I'm going to tell you is whenever a player drops in value so much that they're dropping rounds and rounds, go out of the room. Go out of the room like this. Exit the room. Close the door. Open the door. Re-examine the situation as if it's fresh in your mind. Because you bring all of last year's concerns and all of the burns and scars from last year at last year's ADP. You miss the fact that he's dropped so far that your line in the sand has already been crossed over. A line in the sand is a phrase we've coined on this show where a player's a total avoid. Let's say in round 3, you don't like Breece Hall for whatever damn reason. I think I'm already out on this pen. I left it open for about an hour today, and I'm not sure if there's any ink left in. Let's see. Okay, might have a little bit left. Round 4 is where you like to draft a player. This is Breece Hall. And round 2 is up here. Round 2. He's an avoid. Once this line in the sand is crossed, and you need to know where that line is on every player. Once they cross, they flip into a total smash. Every player has a line in the sand. My belief here. Travis in the building. Travis, welcome back. Travis, welcome back.
You've just been Smitty approved.
My belief is that I think people don't realize that there is a line with Breece. I don't think people are looking at it from that lens. We're going to talk about that as well as Brashard Smith, the Fantasy Football Show. Longest intro in the history of the show begins now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
We found him. We found him. Travis has been found. Denny is still out there. But Travis, welcome back. We're glad to have you here. Yeah, so just know, all of you Breece Hall doubters out there, just know, where did my Breece Hall graphic go? Oh, here it is. It's over on this side. Just know, all you Breece Hall doubters out there, you're doubting him based on last year's price tag. This year's price is not last year's price. Today's price is not yesterday's price. Trying to assess this guy's ability to disappoint you at fourth round value when all you're thinking about is round one value is a weird way to approach Breece Hall ADP. This guy can trip and fall into 4-round value territory. Let's real quickly take a look at the ADP data and see if it updated today on Breece Hall. In fact, let's swing on over there and check it out. Let me pull up Underdog, click on the Originals tab. Let me pull up the ADP rankings and let me take a gander and see where Breece Hall is. According to the most up-to-date best ball rankings, Breece Hall is at 34 overall, which honestly, he's been between 33 and 38 all offseason long. We've seen him go at 4.1 quite frequently, and right now it appears that he's on the verge of being one running back away from being embedded in the fourth round. What I mean by that is at Breece Hall's 34, so 3.10 is Hall's ADP right now. The next running back on the ADP rank list is James Cook at 42 overall. So James Cook is down at number 42 overall. Breece Hall is sitting at 34 overall. Let me just put it in terms of number of spots. 34. These are back-to-back running backs. So what I'm trying to Cook, how many O's am I going to write here? Cook. James Cook is 42 overall. Hall is 34 overall. That means that if, let's say, Cook was to leapfrog Breece Hall, he wouldn't just drop to 35 or 36 overall. The next highest running back's at 42. This is eight overall ADP spots. There's quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends in between there. That means that if, let's say a running back like, I don't know, Chuba Hubbard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara gets some hype or something. If one running back can jump above Breece Hall, it can shoot him down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots. So we're at the verge of maybe Hall falling into the deep fourth round just on one running back movement. But even if we accept that he's 34 overall, Breece Hall is going to, at 3.10, which is his ADP, he is going to clean up, even in a disappointing season where he doesn't have, but let's look at his yardage from last year. Let's put Breece Hall's numbers up and then massage them into place here. 876 and 5 TDs on the ground, and 57, still remarkable receiving numbers. 57 for 483. It's still so good. 483 and 3 TDs. Breece Hall had 8 total touchdowns last year. 8 total touchdowns. There's a legitimate world where he has, let's say, 950 rushing. Let's say not even that much more rushing yards. Let's just say a little bit, because it's going to be a more efficient offense. Fields being on the field is going to rip a defender from the box. They're going to be shadowing where Fields is at all times, spying where he's at. That's going to leave a little bit more room to run between the tackles. It's going to make the rushing lanes just that much more open across the entirety of his season. So Breece Hall could have the same number of attempts even and just get more yards per rip. But 950 to 1,000, I'm just going to call it 950 to be safe. Instead of 5 touchdowns, we'll just give him 6. Again, wide open lanes. I get that Fields is going to vulture a little bit, but 6 is not too much to ask for on the ground. I think this is where the checkdowns are going to be like crazy. Everyone acting like they know what Fields is going to do with Hall. First of all, last year, Fields checked down almost as much as anybody in the league last year. I'm not saying that there isn't bad examples of Chicago with no good running backs. This is one of arguably the best receivers in the league, and he's a running back. This is arguably one of the best hands you could find, and we're just talking. I get it. You're going to say he's not a receiver, Smitty. This guy can catch footballs like no other. This guy could easily, if they wanted to feed him 100 catches, he could easily consume 100 catches. Now, let's take last year's 57 And let's just say he gets 70. And I think that's totally doable with a quarterback that none of you or I have ever seen play ball in a good offense with a line, with a defense, with weapons. We don't know what Fields is capable of doing. We know Fields hasn't had a good running back to dump off to. So how the hell are you going to expect the world from him when they don't even dump the ball off to this guy in any offense Fields has lived in? So 70 for maybe, I would say 650. And then I'm going to give him 4 TDs. This is not that crazy of a number. 10 total touchdowns. 650. I'm barely stretching these numbers out at all. 650 plus 950 is 1,600 yards and 10 total touchdowns. So 70 receptions, 1,600 total yards, 10 TDs. That is going to put him at 160 points rushing yards, 160 plus 70 receptions plus 60 in TDs. That is 290 points. Let's go over to a random league right now. Pull up running back scoring and see where that finishes. I'll use the Marsman League. Players, leaders, change it from 2025 to 2024 stats. Running back and 290 would be running back number 6. Running back number 6. Running back number 6.
Let him cook.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Get Breece.
We're talking about running, and that is his, you could call that not even a ceiling value. 10 TDs, 1,600 total yards. Let me raise this up so you can see it. 10 TDs total. This is not even his ceiling value. His ceiling value would be something along the lines of 8 rushing touchdowns, 5 receiving, 1,100 yards rushing. The same receiving totals I gave you, 70 and 600, 650. That is what his ceiling could be. Breece Hall getting you 70 receptions, 1,600 total yards, 10 touchdowns feels like his floor. And that's running back 6 from last year. So when we call Breece Hall an RB 6 to 10, I think that's pretty accurate. I think that's pretty accurate. Now, there's another running back that I'm going to tell you. And first of all, is Breece Hall on any list right now? He's got to be, right? I forget.
The Moon Man, dropping loads.
Not on the moon.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars Man.
Not on the Mars.
The Saturn Men.
One small
There he
step
is.
for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman.
We added him in January.
Spaceman.
It's unbelievable how doubted he is. I don't even understand it. Do we have any Breece Hall doubters in the room that would like to call into the phone line right now? The phone line's closed for everybody but Breece Hall doubters. Don't troll. Truly believe and speak your mind. And I'm not trying to change your mind if this is how you feel, but come with a strong argument. Come with a strong argument. Don't come in here with some Mickey Mouse argument where you think you've got some sort of hatred toward this guy you're going to sling at me. Then you're going to get shut down. But you have a legitimate argument as to why. And don't just say Fields doesn't check down to his running backs. That is the most lazy take I've ever heard in my life. Fields doesn't like to throw to his running backs. Oh, okay. Okay. How many times have you seen Fields play in a legitimately good offense? And actually, last year was better than any Chicago offense he had, and he did check the ball down. So get your facts straight. Breece Hall is going to the moon. Now, I will say this. We did one monster name, big name, very lowly ranked, very doubted, but big name. Breece Hall to the moon. Breece Hall.
To Jupiter.
I think we got him.
To Saturn.
Too much.
One of the planets he's going to, no doubt about it. But we have another guy we need to talk about. So let me get this off screen, and we will be drafting in a little bit. So hang tight. Yeah, Brashard Smith is one of my favorite players right now to draft, especially underdog. Brashard Smith is a secret weapon, a sleeping giant, and according to ESPN, at least this report, and your boy Smitty, according to Smitty and ESPN, who agrees with me, ESPN agrees with me, because we've been talking about this midseason monster for how long now? Brashard Smith has been at the center of this board at the bottom. Brashard Smith going to the moon. ESPN agrees with your boy Smitty. And this report says that the Chiefs have plans for Brashard Smith. And let me read the full report to you, because honestly, it gets my juices flowing. Your boy Smitty's going to get excited. So buckle up, buttercups. Here we go. Chiefs will showcase Brashard Smith's versatility by getting him the ball out of the backfield. He's a converted wide receiver, but successfully. He had freaking 1,200 yards, roughly 1,200 yards, and I think it was like 13 or 14 touchdowns in his 2024 campaign in college. So he's a successful conversion to a wide receiver to a running back. The Chiefs will get him the ball out of the backfield from the slot, split out wide in early offseason activities. They've been doing it. The Chiefs don't currently have a better answer for who will catch the ball out of the backfield. On the roster is P. Ryan. Oh, no, I'm sorry. On the roster with P. Ryan. I'm sorry. This whole report's written wrong. On their roster with Samaje P. Ryan, off the roster. Current third string Elijah Mitchell had 28 catches in 3 seasons. Kareem Hunt has slowed down since his days in Cleveland and is a third down back at best, but a very spotty third down back. It's certainly a possibility that Smith carves out a role in the backfield sooner than later. This is a midseason monster. This is a guy that can explode. This is a guy that can catch 50-plus balls as a rookie. 50, let's go to the board here, because my thing is, come on, man. Can we get a little bit of a help on the focus here? I mean, why is my camera so out of focus tonight? There's always one problem. 50 receptions, maybe 400 yards, and 3 to 4 TDs out of Brashard Smith receiving. So this is certainly possible for the kid, for the rookie. And what he does on the ground rushing, that's an anomaly, an enigma. We don't know, because this is something that KC does rotate a lot. It's hard to see coming. It's hard to know what KC wants to do from one season to the next. The one thing we do have to go off of, though, is that KC usually doesn't use what they used at the end of the year, the previous year, in the beginning of the year. It always seems like someone's going to be the starter. Remember Damian Williams would do good in the Super Bowl, and then they wouldn't even play him in week 1. Jerick McKinnon was amazing at the end of the season, and then in week 1, they didn't even use him. So that leads me to believe that Brashard Smith is maybe going to fall into the cycle of everybody's expecting this, and the Chiefs do this. Because he has the capability of being the best pass catcher in this rushing attack, in this rushing running back room, when the focus of the 2025 Kansas City Chiefs is to air it out, stretch the field, go downfield, change everything, and go aggressive. They don't want to lose again. They're torn up about losing that potential back-to-back championship that they could have added and been the first team to ever go 3. This is something that's eating up Patrick Mahomes. He shaved his head. He's been working out. He got rid of the dad bod. Kelsey dropped 20 LBs. And Reed and the staff has said repeatedly, we're going to throw the ball down the field. We're going downfield. We're changing the direction of this offense. And for everybody that thinks that this is another lazy take, the Chiefs, they just drag the game out. They don't really do much with it. They kind of just hold on to the ball control defense, and that's how they win the games. That is the laziest take I've ever seen. Gump, on the middle of a monologue, Gump. No. I hung up on you right now. No, Gump. I'm almost done. Hang out patiently and await me dropping the phone line, Gump. Where was I at as Gump rudely interrupted me? The Kansas City Chiefs are not going to come out and slow roll games like they did last year. Reed is an adapting monster. He's a chameleon. He shapeshifts. He's a shapeshifter as a play caller and as a head coach. He goes from having nothing but elite running back rooms, gets Mahomes, has nothing but an elite passing attack, goes back to defense because they had everybody banged up and injured. But if Rice had not got hurt, if Hollywood Brown had not got hurt, maybe Worthy would have progressed quicker because he wouldn't have necessarily been the only guy getting thrown to the wolves. If Kelsey had dropped the LBs last year instead of this year, maybe this would have been an air attack, an assault, an aerial monster. But now they're looking to go in that direction. We've heard it several times this offseason. You're either on board this KC Chief train or you're not. We're not letting you on later. You can come in with your, Mahomes hasn't done anything from 2 years ago. I've watched other shows, Smitty. The other shows say it. They say it. They say Smitty. They say Smitty. According to the other show, they've said this. Patrick Mahomes hasn't done anything for 2 years. Therefore, he's never going to change. He is who he is from now on, moving forward. Tom Brady, did Tom Brady ever have a couple games? He did? Oh. But Mahomes, you don't think Mahomes? Yeah, Mahomes hasn't done anything. We had a caller last night that gave us a bunch of facts about it when he said Mahomes only had one good year. Remember that guy? Remember that guy? You remember him?
Take a big lap. We don't need your head mask coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
So you can either get on this train if you want or not. That's totally up to you. That is completely up to you. Hold on. I got my literally banging on my door. I got my little one banging on the door. Let me text Miss Smitty. Hopefully the little one doesn't. We're doing it live. You ever see that CNN video where that CNN reporter's like doing that interview and then the little kid comes in, the baby comes in, and then the other baby comes in and the mother comes in and crawls in and tries to pull them all out of the room? That's what this is like right now. All right. So anyway, Brashard Smith is literally going to erupt at some point. Do I know when? I don't, because the Chiefs they're kind of low key on what they're going to do with this rushing attack. They always are, but there's a reason they drafted this kid who is the best receiving back outside of like Genty and Hendy. And there's a couple really good receiving backs in this class. Hampton even catches the ball really well. But the Chiefs didn't want to spend that kind of draft capital. So once the big dogs are off the board, this is literally the top of the class left over because he's a converted wide receiver. And so this is going to be an unbelievable value late in drafts. This guy goes in rounds 17, 18, 16, and he's a complete smash. A complete smash. So, it's up to you where you want to take him. I'm grabbing him in every league. I'm not even hesitating on when to take him. He is one of the easiest picks, one of the most automatic late round grabs in fantasy, period. And this news right here, I've been backing off because I have so many shares of them just to protect myself. The oversaturation of players where Ron Navy, 3 years. Ron Navy's been here 3 years, 3-year membership message. Ron Navy, do it live.
Let him cook.
Brashard Smith, protecting yourself from having a bunch of ADP shares of a player, even around 17, 18, it doesn't feel good when it's like Whittington, for example. Remember, we were cleaning up on Whittington shares, we thought, because Adams wasn't there. We didn't know what was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, the whole situation and landscape changed. Now Whittington's a piece of trash. And if you've got him in like 70% of your leagues, it doesn't hit, it hits, the wrong way. I've been backing off the last couple of weeks because I've literally drafted Brashard Smith in like 70% of my drafts. But this news is all I've been waiting for. Just a little bit of sunshine. Just a little bit of light gleaming on this man's potential output. And here it is. Here it is. The fact that he's in the plans, the fact that in practice they're using him this way already. They're trying out where they can put him out on the field, and that he's the most exciting player probably in the backfield. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the one moment that I've said, you know what? I'm back in. I'm going to draft him in like 80, 90% of all my leagues at round 17, 18 territory. And if I miss on it, so be it. Or if I don't get anything for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, so be it. Maybe he doesn't do much until week 10, but is starting to sniff and smell like he's going to potentially be in play a whole lot earlier, if not from Jump Street. Super excited about Brashard Smith. And I think is he a Moon Man as well?
The Moon Man, dropping loads and
not.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Kind of feels like he
the
should
Moon
be.
Man.
We got him on the mid-season monster, and we dropped him early on that. But part of me wants to throw him on the Moon Man list.
The Moon Man, dropping loads in outer space.
Mars
He's on
Men.
A shuttle to Mars. Mars Men.
The only player, and Hampton looks great on there. The only player I'm
dropping,
kind of
spinning aimlessly in
tempted
space.
to move off would be Laporta, but his ADP's been dropping into the 70s, so that's kind of changed my thinking to keep him on it. It's just such a good value.
The Saturn Men.
One small.
I can't
He's
take
on
any
a
of the
shuttle
Saturn
to
men off.
Mars.
I can't take
Mars
anybody
Men.
but Laporta off if I wanted
the
to.
Moon Men, dropping loads in outer
Likely
space.
ain't going anywhere. Fields ain't going anywhere. Blue, Ward, Thornton, Jr. Maybe we just throw Brashard Smith on here. We deal with it later and go on from there. I think we said 5 seats only on this one, but geez, why not? Why not? I mean, he already is a midseason monster. We kind of have it covered, but we could almost take him. Well, no, we'll leave him on both. He deserves to be on both. I'm going to move this to 6 seats. We'll send another person to the moon. What's another person on the moon? The moon's big enough. It ain't as spacious as maybe the Mars, but the moon can fit 6 souls on there. Let's go ahead and put 6 in there. Let's do it live. Brashard Smith, young man, you are now a Moon Man. Let's do an official unveiling now that I put him on the screen properly. I give you Moon Man number 6.
The Moon Man,
Brashard Smith.
Loads in outer space.
Notice how these are all deep win-a-league players. This is like the traditional Moon Man list from the first year or two that we did this. Don't draft all these guys on one team. This is a much more hit and miss list. As you go up the planet list, it gets stronger and stronger. Doesn't mean that they're not good values. Everybody that makes the Mars, Moon, Saturn, Jupiter list is a value at their ADP. I don't just throw players on. They're values. But this is a lot more, risking it for the biscuit type of thing. You don't want to fill a team full of just Moon Men.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Mars Men, you kind of
Mars
can.
Men.
You can put all these guys potentially on one team. A little bit of risk still because slow start for Hampton.
Dropping and spinning aimlessly.
Maybe a slower start for Ibuka, possibly. And then you get to
The Saturn Men.
Saturn, and it's
One
like
small step for man, one giant
smash.
leap for
these guys smash for a living. And then you get to Jupiter, and it's like
The Jupiter Men. Jupiter is so large.
this is the pro
Every
crew.
planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter Men.
That's the pro crew right there. I mean, phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show. Do it live. I love these two. I love this topic tonight because it's one big name running back. It's one smaller named running back. Both are potential moon men. Both are potential league winners. Love both of them. Both of them make me smile. Both of them are values. Breece Hall is a value beyond value. There's just no way to argue it. As I said earlier, it's like, what are you arguing? What are you arguing? If Breece Hall replicates last year, he crushes his near 4th round ADP. What are you really going to argue for Breece Hall? The only thing you could say is he's not going to be a top 5 running back again. Who's drafting him as a top 5 running back? I'm not. You aren't. You shouldn't be. You're getting him at near 4th round value. There's nothing risky about this situation at all. I missed the main show, says Ron Navy. Ron Navy, you had a joke you wanted to tell. Do you want to retell that joke real quick? $20 hauler, by the way, from Ron Navy. Ron Navy to the moon. Thank you very much.
Alert.
It's way past, dude.
No, it's good enough. Ron said that it was great. He heard the Darren Waller news, got really excited. He was like, this is a good trade. And he ran where? Where did you run to, Ron?
I ran right to the bathroom and threw up.
Ron tried to tell a joke 4 times, but the show kept cutting out. I'm sure it was really, you know when you're on the phone and you're like, say it again, and then the phone cuts out. Say it again, and the phone cuts out. Say it again, and the phone cuts out. Let's go ahead and let me merge Gump in real quickly. Hold on, let me merge Gump. Gump, remain quiet real quickly, please. Go ahead, Ron Navy, you're live.
Hey, I've been drafting him because you mentioned him earlier. You mentioned him like, I don't know, it's about a month ago or think, and I've been drafting him late in the draft. But check this out. They had the pit bull, right?
Yeah, the pit bull. I haven't done the pit bull yet.
Yeah, I've only done one. I got to one. I did a slow draft, and so I got the 10th spot, right?
Yeah.
And so when it got to me, my first pick was Genty. Then it came around for my second pick, which was London. Right?
Okay.
My third pick, check that, because this hasn't happened to me all year. And I wasn't trying to, but my third pick was Daniels. I picked Jaden Daniels, right? Now,
Okay.
Sometimes you can get him in the 4th or whatever, right?
Okay.
But, it comes around to my pick again in the 4th round, and guess who's staring me in the face?
It can't be Bucky. It can't be Garrett Wilson. Who?
No. And it shouldn't be this guy either. Josh Allen.
I've seen him.
Resist. I haven't had a combination.
I've seen him fall in the 4th. Before.
Yeah, if you take it. I haven't.
Yeah,
That's the first time I've seen him fall in the 4th.
I've seen him fall in the 4th.
So I was like,
so you bully QB.
he's the best player on the board. I'm taking him.
All right, who'd you take after that though?
Well,
how'd you recover from bully QB? Who was your 5th and 6th pick? Do you remember?
I haven't got that far yet.
Oh, it's slow draft. Okay.
Ow.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's 4 picks already.
Yeah, bully QB's fun.
Yeah.
And this could net you. I mean, if they score, let's say, just for simple math, 400 each, I venture to say that the combined optimal scoring situation here is going to give you like 490 or something. It's going to at least be in 90 to 120 points or something like that. That's my guess anyway. And if you throw in like a Cam Ward later, that might jump it to like, I don't know. If it was 400 points, let's say that these two each scored, your starting quarterback spot, 17 starts will probably get you, I'd say like 150 more than normal or something like that. So bully QB is crazy.
Yeah,
it's fun. All right, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go over to Gump real quick, and then back over to you, Ron. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead. Go ahead, Gump.
What's up, Smitty? Cammy wants to say hi. Say hi, Cammy. Oh, she just disappeared. I got Dustin over here.
Gump, I don't know who these people are. You talk to me like I know who you're talking about. I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, Dustin wants to give a take on Mahomes.
I don't need to give a take on Mahomes.
Why?
Have to help him out.
Did you hear what Dustin said?
Yeah. Okay.
He's a
All right,
Broncos fan.
Gump, what else you
But
got? Gump, what else
I
you got?
Well, I'm tired of you trying to think that Travis Hunter is going to be better than Jameson Williams. How could that be?
Gump, why do we do this every single night? Every single night we go over this. Every single night. I don't know. Why is everything the Detroit Lions for you? Why can't you accept that Jameson Williams can never be a wide receiver 1 in his current situation? He's barely going to get the second best, most targets on his team. Like, what are we talking about, Gump? Why are we doing this every single night?
Running back number 1.
Oh. Well,
Every single night, Gump. Every single night.
What's our bet with Goff and Bo Nix? I got confused. What's our bet?
Ron, were you here when Gump and I made that challenge? I think
Yeah,
it was
a bucket of chicken.
he already
wasn't
lost that one. He already lost that one. I think what it was is I was gonna write Gump on my arms like there were tattoo sleeves.
Oh.
And you wanted me to do my face.
Yeah.
And you were gonna make a modest super chat of your choosing. I didn't want you to have to do anything you couldn't do if Goff outscores Bo Nix. That's what it was. It was Nix versus Goff. That was what it was. And real quickly, I'm gonna jump into another one. I'm gonna jump into another one after I do this one, but I wanted to get into a weekly winner without everybody in it. And I'll jump in one. Hold on, Gump. And I'll jump in one after. Okay, together. This is one where Achane goes a lot higher in weekly winners because of his ability to have those huge spike weeks. Bucky, I haven't drafted Achane and Bucky together in a while, and I love this in a weekly winner contest. So let's see what this can unveil. We'll go back and forth between this. And go ahead, Gump. What were you gonna say?
Well, what I was going to say is, I think we could just make it a 3-piece. Me and Ron Navy's got a 3-piece going.
I don't know what you're saying. I again don't know.
Me and Ron Navy's got a 3-piece. So we could just do a 3-piece on that.
Ron, do you know what he's saying? Ron, can you translate for me?
Yeah. We bet the same thing. We bet 3-piece of chicken on Hunter and Jameson.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is Bo Nix.
All right, Ron, Gump, anything else other than your usual Lions talk that gets you hung up on every time?
Well,
He doesn't know where to go.
I just think the Lions are being disrespected because of Ben Weasel and that stupid call.
Can you imagine thinking your team's better off without Ben Johnson? Can you imagine being that person that truly believes your team is better? He's so mad about one call. He continues to say that, man, Garrett Wilson's still here. How's Garrett Wilson still here?
Let him cook.
Remember the caller was like, what was it? Scared Scott said he gets him in the 5th round. Give me a break. This is the latest I've ever seen Garrett Wilson go. He was near the top of the rank. I love this beginning in a weekly contest. This is fantastic. Weekly winners is where you're trying to win one individual week. Doesn't matter which week. Every week is disconnected from the others. There's no cumulative scoring. It's basically you're just trying to get the best team in any one given week to pop off and outscore all. I think there's how many people are in the weekly winners, Ron? Like 200,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
So if it's like 150,000, 200, whatever it is, you want to be the highest scoring team in any given week, and if you are, you grab 20K. Each week there's a reset prize of 20K. We got 2 super chats here. One from Angus. Angus says, Smitty, it's Angus. Thank you, Angus, for dropping the usual super chat. You're the man, the myth, the legend. And then Chili says, this might be the longest Gump has ever stayed on the phone line. That's true. And the reason why is I'm drafting and I can't leave my screen right now. So I haven't hung up on him yet. I could go Burrow here. I could go Hampton here. I could go Devontae Adams here.
Over 186,000
Dustin says grab control.
teams.
I'm going to go Adams here. This is because it's weekly winners. I think he could easily have a spot. Adams could definitely have wide receiver 1 overall weeks where he's the number 1 that week. I think totally could. Especially Puka Nacua playing as aggressive as he plays, the injury risk there. Adams probably one of the this is funny, they're former teammates. This is probably one of the best 2 wide receivers I can think of this late that you could get in this type of situation. I would have loved Rashee Rice, don't get me wrong. But at this point in the draft, I like McLaurin, I like JSN, but Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, there's a real chance that these guys have in any given week the capability multiple times to be at least a top 5 wide receiver. So those are 2 really good receivers to get. Dynasty trade, Worthy for Pickens and a 26 second rounder. I like Pickens a lot, but he's a number 2. Now, he's a number 2 on a great offense, but Worthy's the number 2, but could be still arguable that he could be the 1. I like Rice more, but there's a definite argument to be made that they're both like 1B, whereas Pickens will never be 1B or 1A. I know they say that in Dallas, but he's going to be amazing. Pickens is going to be phenomenal in Dallas. He's going to be really, really good, but Worthy has a chance, in my opinion, to be better. But it's you could argue it's close enough to argue for sure, but give me the guy that might be Patrick Mahomes' number 1 wide receiver. That's what I'm going to choose. But it's and he's young. He's clearly his career's just getting started. There's a lot to factor in there. I do really like Pickens this year. I want to make that abundantly clear. But he is a head case. He is a diva. I think they reset the clock by trading him. His diva mentality was paused for a year. I give him at least 1 year this whole entire season of being diva free, just like Antonio Brown. Remember, Antonio Brown was a head case. He went to play football in Tampa. He lived in Tom Brady's house. Remember that? He stayed at Tom Brady's house for a while, and he completely paused on all the drama. It was like a year and a half where Antonio Brown looked like he'd shaped up. I think that's kind of what we're getting a little bit of out of Pickens. But that could return after a year or so. Give me Worthy all day. But I understand the argument.
The only thing I don't like about Kansas City receivers is you never know, because Mahomes really doesn't look at them. I mean, 1 week he goes with this receiver, 1 week he goes with that receiver.
Call
The only
HHH and
consistent
Associates.
receiver
Triple H and Associates.
has been Kelsey. I mean, for the most part. I mean, you always know if he gets the ball to Kelsey, he's going to get the ball to Kelsey. But everybody else is like a crapshoot, it seems like, because there is no number, like you say, number 1 receiver per se, because it's always different.
Yeah, but at least he's got a shot. Pickens can't. There's no way he's taking over for Lamb. There's 0 chance. But
yeah, but Pickens could be more consistent, is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe. But that's why I said it's arguable. It's arguable for sure. But
I just have a hard time with the KC receivers, because Mahomes just spreads it. Mahomes just hits the open guy. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. If they're open, he's throwing the ball.
Here's look at the team so far. Devon Achane, this is weekly winners. Devon Achane, Bucky Irving, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, RJ Harvey. Now, here's a tough call right here. I could either go Trevion Henderson, which would be the 4th running back. You only start 2 and then a flex. So probably smarter not to, although it depends on what wide receivers I'm getting later. Mahomes is here and Debo's here. I could punt Mahomes, go Debo, and then get Bo Nix later.
No, you're starting to get skinny.
I think I'm going to go. Let's go Mahomes here. Gump's talking in the background. I'm going to hang up on him. Gump.
Finish him.
He's talking about weight loss in the background. He's looking skinny. Gump, not right now. Call back in a little bit. Actually, let's add him one more time. Gump, if you're going to have side conversations, mute yourself if you're going to have side conversations. Gump, okay? All right. Patrick Mahomes,
Say again?
RJ Harvey, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson. This is a good team right here. Bo Nix is off the board. He went at 44. Oh, look at this guy taking 3 QBs. I didn't even have time to notice that. Thank you for telling me, Vader. I would have passed on Mahomes thinking that there's no way Bo Nix had gone yet. Wow, Josh Allen, JD5, Bo Nix. I mean, the team still looks really good with Genty, Kamara, and Debo in a weekly winner where if Kamara gives you 5 elite weeks and then he falls off like Mixon did, which is a very likely plan or likely path for, or blueprint, you could say, for Kamara. If Kamara does have a little left in the tank, it'll be recharged, kind of like a battery. You know, you got that battery that is, you know, you charge it and it's good for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then it just shuts off. It just drains completely. That's what Mixon did last year. He didn't have one last hurrah. He had 2/3 of a last hurrah. And I think Kamara started to show signs of decline when you watch his film. And he's going to recharge a little bit. And then boom, he's gonna fall flat. So this is the format to draft Kamara in, but the team could fall flat later. It's still a very good team. He's doing very well going 3 QBs like that to dominate quarterback scoring. But let's see what he does with the rest of his team, because he could literally screw this up with just 2 bad picks here in the next couple of rounds. So let's see what he does here. But I don't think that it's crazy to try some of these scenarios, because he will, like Ron drafted Josh Allen and JD5 in his draft, but he got him in 3rd and 4th round, not the 2nd and 3rd round. But Bo Nix, I don't know. Ricky Pearsall, he just screwed it up. That's
You've just been...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And he kind of helps me out because, well, actually it doesn't matter. This is weeklies. You don't get bumped out of your draft pool, really. Doesn't matter anymore. Once the drafts are over, everybody's in the same bucket. I was going to say him screwing his team up by consuming quarterbacks could benefit you. All right, I have Olave here who's interesting at this value.
Who's going to throw him the ball, though?
I know.
You got, well, it's not just that. It's the concussion concern and who's going to throw him the ball.
I was going to time out here, and instead of timing out, I saw Fields there, and I thought of Garrett Wilson, and I said, let's put them together. And it wasn't a reach. It's just me going early quarterback with Fields as my bully. It's not normally my plan of attack, but I kind of like it. Okay, so I got Mahomes. I got Justin Fields. I think Travis Kelce already off the board. Look at this guy in the 1 spot, taking Laporta and Kelce. Everybody's taking all the cuffs. It's kind of a wild draft. Let's see here. Receivers, Olave's there. Igbuka's way down there, but I really like Igbuka. I could wait. I think he'll fall to my next pick. Charbonnet's way down there. I don't like any of these picks right here. If I wanted to go with the Jacksonville running backs, I could take ETN right here. I could take another quarterback here if I wanted. I could take Hawkinson. Hawkinson's not too bad here. Evan Ingram's not bad here. I think I might go Olave. Just because it's weeklies. Like, even if he gets concussed, whatever. I mean, this is going to be my 3rd receiver.
You don't want Waller?
Waller ain't no baller. Let's go Olave. That's pretty good here. That's not bad. We're talking round 8. I mean, answer the question, Ron. Does Olave still have top 10 wide receiver skill? Probably yes, right?
He does.
Right.
Yeah, he does. But
right,
like I said, concussion and who's throwing the ball.
Right.
That's
but do those things in weeklies get packaged into round 8 value? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, as your 3rd receiver in weeklies, I don't mind it. It's pretty good, actually. I think it's the only draft setting I want him in, though. You know, weeklies where you don't have to worry about it too much. Gump. Hello, Gump.
Hello.
Yeah. You got anything? Have you thought of anything? You've been on hold for like 20 minutes. Have you thought of anything that's not related to your precious Lions? He can't do anything other than
couple
talk.
years I did draft Mahomes. I drafted Mahomes. I regretted it both times. How could I draft Mahomes for the third time and be a loser?
Because his situation isn't just going to translate over from year to year to year, bro. He's been QB1 twice before. He's been QB3 once before, bro. He's been a top 5 QB plenty. There have been 2 years, one of which last year, he might not have finished number 10 had he not lost Rice and Hollywood and lost all of his receivers, Gump.
I'm crying.
What are you doing with the phone, Gump?
Dustin gave me some shit. But anyway, I'll stop eating. But what I'm saying is...
Finish him.
He's done. He's done. He can't even... I don't even know what he's doing. Can't even operate. And I don't know if he goes, I'm going to give the phone to Stevie. Or Stevie, like, I don't know who Stevie is. I don't know who Frank is. He just starts acting like we know who he's talking about. There goes Ibuka. Who's in this draft? Doesn't look like one. I mean, not that I just can kind of tell sometimes by the patterns. I don't see any patterns that make me feel like that's a.
Does that person have Mayfield by any chance?
I don't think so. All right, let me go. Doggy. Let me go Zach Charbonnet and Weeklies and just do it live. We got Bucky. We got RJ Harvey. We've got, I forgot. We got Achane as well. Awesome. Look at that team. Achane, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, RJ Harvey, Pat Mahomes, Justin Fields, Chris Olave, Zach Charbonnet. We don't miss. We don't miss.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a great squad. I'm really liking that team. I can't stand drafting Olave in non-weeklies, and I love Olave in this spot. All right, man, Jonnu Smith is what a waste of a pick now. What a garbage pick right now. Oh man, Isaiah Likely.
Well, I mean, it's yet to be seen. I mean, he could, I'm not going to say. With Aaron Rodgers, he's used to using 2 tight ends.
I'm going to go Tyler Warren here, maybe. I'll go Tyler Warren here. Travis on the phone line. Travis, my guy, we've missed you, man. It seems like it's been 5 weeks since you've been on the show. Travis keeps the chat in order. He's constantly answering people's questions. Travis, it's been felt that you've been gone. How are you, pal?
I'm good. I just kind of had to recharge my batteries the past couple of days.
Yeah. All right. Well, we were just.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone looking out though, for sure.
Yeah, we noticed. We noticed, and then we started feeling bad because we were like noticing for selfish reasons. We're like, "Where's Travis?" And then we started to go, "Wait a minute, where's Travis?" So there was 2 waves. It was a wave of like, "Hey, where's Travis?" We really do count on Travis for a lot of things. And then it was worry. Then it was panic. Then it was the bat signal. But
wow.
Glad you're good. I
didn't notice Travis was gone at all because I haven't been on all the shows either. So.
Well, we did feel the same way.
Everything okay, Travis?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I was just kind of wiped out. Had to take a couple days of rest.
Well, glad you caught up on that. And if you need more time, Steph, just
good.
glad you're okay.
Yeah. I mean, the bat signal, that's pretty good. I've never had the bat signal go.
Yeah, we definitely we slung it up there today.
You don't have to worry. Smitty won't duck your pay.
We had it up here. We still haven't found Denny, but we had Travis and Denny sitting here, and now we have we have no idea where Denny is.
You wonder where Denny is. That's it.
Yeah.
That's anyone's guess.
I thought maybe we'd find Denny before we'd find Travis. It felt like such a long amount of time. Ron, we felt that way about you too. We weren't worried about you because, you could come and go or whatever. But there was a time where Ron was gone for like, he went on his vacation. That was a long time, but we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
There was a time where you did actually vanish for like, I want to say like a month.
Yeah.
Travis, what do you think of this team so far?
What's going on?
Here's the squad. Here's the squad. Weekly winners. We got Achane, Bucky. We're in the 9th spot. Achane, Bucky, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, RJ Harvey, Mahomes, Fields. Olave in round 8 was pretty good in weeklies, right? I mean, it feels differently if it wasn't weeklies, but I feel like it's pretty good.
I think one of Chuck, I think that's how they say his name.
Yeah.
Chuck or Rattler will end up being adequate, which, in terms of fantasy, the adequate QB can usually support, a good wide receiver. So, I don't know, it could be a little inconsistent between him and Shaheed, maybe. But, I mean, I don't look at Chuck and say, oh, that's the QB of the future. So, I question a little bit, why they took him. But I think more than anything, they're just looking for, like a sturdy QB. And then I think next year, if Arch comes out or there's a few other guys, if the picks fall to them, the right way, then they'll take, a better QB and they'll be set, because you need backup QB. So
They could have taken Shador. They didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Atwood
I don't
says,
know.
just real quickly what you were saying. Yeah, I think, but in underdog weekly winner contest, given that, and would you agree that Olave still has top 10 wide receiver skill?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Ron thought that as well, and I think that. So like in weekly winners, I'm okay with it. Yeah, round 8 was crazy to me. Now I'm on the clock here.
Probably the best place to take him.
Yeah, I said, I forget if you were on the phone line when I said it, but I think it's the only place I would take him. I don't think I'd draft Olave anywhere else. I think weekly winners feels great. I'm going to go ahead and take another RB here. I'm going to have 6 RBs, but keep in mind that in weekly winners, you don't really, I'm not worried about bye weeks. I don't even need to have 3 quarterbacks if I don't want to. And I don't even care if I have all my players on bye week. In fact, I prefer it to have them all on a bye week the same week because I'll just lose that week. And none of the points carry over from week to week. It's all in weekly winners. It's all 1 week. And it's like 17 individual leagues that last 1 week. That's kind of what you got to look at, where there's a prize. And then once it's over, the same team you drafted, though, you don't get to add drop or trade. But the same team you drafted starts a new league in week 2. It ends in week 2. It starts a new league in week 3, ends in week 3 against everybody. And so I drafted Garendo, Jaden Blue, and Charbonnet to go with Bucky, Achane, and Harvey. So those are some home run hitters in Sharps, Garendo, and Blue to go with Bucky, Achane, and Harvey. So I'm loving this squad so far. My receivers are pretty damn crafty, if you ask me, even though I only have 3 of them so far. I have Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, and Olave.
And you need more receivers because you got to start 3 of them.
Yeah,
every week.
But this is usually, if you watch me draft, this is usually where I take off drafting wide receivers because, look at all these guys. Once you get to this, Shaheed area, Shaheed, Bateman, Trey Harris, who I like, but Kyle Williams I like, Christian Kirk, nah. Leggett, no thanks. Luther Burden, I like him. I draft him when I can. But Luther Burden has, been injured and disappointing, and he's kind of behind anyway. Joshua Palmer, I don't care about. Jack Besh is okay. None of these guys are home run hitters. I usually take a complete, break from drafting wide receivers from this, this 10th round to, 14th round territory. And then I start getting back into the groove. Mahomes and Hollywood might not be bad, but Hollywood's, I think, the highest ranked player, so he probably won't make it. 3 more picks, but we'll see. Kyle Pitts is there.
I don't know. Palmer with the Bills now. He might do something.
Well, I mean, it's arguable. I Pat Bryant, who's down a ways, way higher than those guys. Dante Thornton is down there. Michael Wilson Jr. I like a lot. Calvin Austin's is someone to consider there. Devontae Adams, there went Hollywood and Pitts. Don't know if those guys are in the same. Damn, I guess I'm gonna go Jalen McMillan or I'm gonna time out. I'll go McMillan. Jalen McMillan. I still like him a lot.
That's a good one.
He's still a good player. He's still going to be heavily involved. And not to mention, it seems like Baker's going to throw the hell out of the ball again. I know they lost Liam Cohen, but damn, man, this team, and you hear Mike Evans talk about how talented the wide receiver room is. They're just going to try. They're just going to air it out. Baker's so fun to watch. He's such a fun player to watch and root for. Him and Bryce.
You used to like him too much. You came around on him.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not come around on him? I mean, the thing is, the worst part about the Baker thing is I was so high on him as a rookie and a sophomore. Like I constantly, like, year one of my channel, I was all over Baker, and then he failed me, and so I kind of had that, like, you know, where it cut so deep that I couldn't get behind anything till I saw it. So I admit that's one I did not see bouncing back. I mean, Liam Cohen's, that's why we got to have faith in T-Law to a degree. Liam Cohen is amazing. The only thing we got to be careful of is that, like, Shane Steichen and Dable, those are quarterback whisperers that have not revived their quarterbacks that they've dealt with. So sometimes it doesn't always translate, but I do think Liam Cohen is going to. Travis, what were you going to say?
You think? Well, one, I was just going to say, with them airing it out, it's going to open up so much room in the running game, too, which is just awesome for Bucky. But in terms of the QB whisperers, do you think there's a chance that maybe Dayball isn't as great as he got chalked up to be, in that he just got Josh Allen, who obviously needed some work, but was such a massive talent that, you know, maybe it wasn't such a, you know, trick for him to turn Allen into what he is. And since then, there hasn't been much evidence to show.
Yeah.
You also got to realize, Travis, though, too, when he was working with Josh Allen, it wasn't as a head coach. So now he's a head coach. There's a lot of different responsibilities the head coach has.
Yeah, but
definitely.
You also got to think about.
He doesn't have that time to spend with each one. Like
you also got to think about, though, there were a lot of other people involved in Josh Allen's turnaround, and maybe Dable got a majority of the credit, and there are some other coaches that we need to look at that were involved in that and that are doing good things in this league. So I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. Maybe Dable is not as good of a QB whisperer as we think. Although I don't know, I still feel like he's good. I just think he's not good at making a decision of what quarterback to go get. I think you got to hand him the talent. I think he needs an Adam Peters to hand him the player, and then, hey, you know, cultivate this guy. But
that's true.
I don't know. Ian has a super chat here. Thoughts on taking Kittle this year? What about the tight end position in general? Who are you betting on a ton on? I'm more of a go get likely, grab Evan Ingram, or Bowers or McBride. I don't really draft much in between. I have drafted Kittle a couple times, and it felt pretty good when he fell far enough. But where did he go in this draft, for example? George Kittle went McBride fell to the 34 overall pick. I took Garrett Wilson because I needed a wide receiver, but that was a damn hard decision when I saw Trey McBride sitting there. You know, that was a really tough call. That was crazy, McBride in weeklies. I mean, he could be such a big force in weekly winners, too. I don't understand the tight end values in weekly winners. It feels like they're lower. Brock Bowers falls to 21. So Kittle went 42. That's a great territory. Would I take Hampton over him like that caller did? Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty good spot for him. I think anywhere in round 4 is pretty decent. I think if you go higher than like mid round 4, you might be overpaying a little bit. But as your 4th drafted player, I don't mind it. But I do admit I tend to go. There's so many players I love in the 4th and 5th round, like Travis Hunter, like JD5, Josh Allen, like Harvey and Hampton, that I end up usually Let me grab this guy here. Hold on one second. I end up usually not going with Kittle. And it's not because I don't like him. I also don't know. Sorry, guys, I had to merge that call. It's not that I don't like Kittle. It's just I can't pass on those other players more. I'd rather have Isaiah Likely and get my Hampton and then Harvey the next round and Hunter or whatever. That's kind of my thinking, I suppose. I also feel like the Niners could be a mess this year, and I know that Purdy might lean on Kittle a lot, but that doesn't always make for an amazing season. If the wide receiver room's in shambles, I'm not saying they for sure will be, but I don't think it's a lesser wide receiver room than they've ever had. And so how will the ball be moved down the field? How easy will it be for defenses to say, let's lock down Kittle? And will Kittle be asked to block more? That happens to him from time to time, from season to season. And you can't really predict when it's going to happen. Shanahan will just pull the plug and say, you're blocking more. I don't know. That's kind of why I stay away from Kittle when I love so many other players in round 4. Go ahead. We definitely have a sniper in here. Because I'm getting like Thornton, all these guys getting sniped for me. I'm sorry, caller. What did you say?
Sorry. I said, are you hearing birds? You want me to turn it down?
I still don't understand what the hell you're saying, bro.
I thought that's what a sniper meant. That was too loud in the background.
What can I do for you, bro? You're live. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I got you, man. This is Jonah. I'm in Houston.
What's up, Jonah? What can I do for you?
I got sent a dynasty trade and to get JD5, and I'm in a competitive league here. I'm thinking it's a pretty good trade, but I just want to make sure I'm giving up like 3 players.
Hit me with it.
So he's sending me JD5. I'm sending him Bowers, Cam, Scalaboo, and Igbuka. Okay.
Bowers, Igbuka,
Scalaboo,
and Scat for JD5.
Yep.
And
for JD5, yeah. And I have. Oh, go ahead.
It's Superflex.
Superflex. It's like a lot of like bonuses to quarterback passing.
Is it tight end premium?
Tight end premium.
Yeah, I figured.
It is, but I also have Bowers. I have Bowers and Warren already, and Mason Taylor.
Okay. I'd rather have JD5 in a Superflex tight end premium than Bowers, but Bowers does climb a lot and get into that round 1, round 2 turn area, but I still have JD5 ahead of him. So does Igbuka, who I love a lot, I do. Does Igbuka and Scat close that gap? I think he did well. I don't think there's an argument to be made on both sides, but I think I'd rather have JD5, bro.
Okay. I have a lot of young running backs. Like I got Tootin, and I got Brashard Smith, and a bunch of rookie running backs. So I feel good at running back. And my wide receivers are AJ Brown, JSN, and I got Nico Collins. So,
nice. Nice
Zach
job.
Does the quarterback. So I feel like I can win this year.
Attaboy. All right, hang tight. Mute yourself if you want. If you got another question, I'll come back to you in a second. Big T, you're live, and I might have to interrupt you as I draft, but go ahead, Big T.
You're good, man. Feel free to interrupt me. I wanted to talk about that Dable situation, like the quarterback situation that he's had. Like quarterback whisperer might definitely be a stretch at this point. I do feel like Josh Allen's talent is a big reason as to why Dable got his job in New York, but I feel like he was dealt a bad hand with Daniel Jones. He got drafted in 2019 and then he got hired in 2022. I digress. Like Dable could have taken a quarterback last season, but he didn't want to pass up on Neighbors.
Hello?
Do damned if you don't kind of deal for Dable. There were flashes with players like, Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito and even Daniel Jones at some points.
There weren't flashes with anyone.
I wouldn't go as far as saying.
I wouldn't say there's flashes.
Yeah, I mean, like they performed in some games.
Here's the thing, though. He isn't fully responsible for, Joe Scheinbox is also responsible and somewhat more responsible getting the talent on the roster. I do believe this year he listened very much to what Daboll said. And maybe the jury's still out on Dart. I'm not saying Dart is a failure or a bust yet. It's way too early. But I've heard more negatives than I've heard positives. And I personally didn't like him anywhere near as much as other people walking into the draft. So I think they made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And not drafting Shedeur was just such, especially when you were considering it in the first round and you don't take him in the second, you don't take him in the third, you don't take him in the fourth. Just what a botched situation. If anything, you just take him with Dart. And if Dart can't handle that, then he's not the guy. So it was. I very much I'm torn on whether Daboll is any sort of quarterback whisperer. I agree, but at the same time, you know, we'll see what
group they have, Giant Box and all that. You know, they get kind of a mess over there. You know, so hard to know who's making the decisions.
Yeah, we'll take Brashard Smith as the last pick here. Extraordinaire of the hour. Let's go.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, we'll see what Daboll does with Dart. If he can turn Dart into a really, really good player, then we can, I think, circle back and say, yeah, maybe he is. But, man, what a disaster. And Shane Steichen, too. You know, what a great job he did with Jalen Hurts. But there were other coaches involved. And, you know, you could have been handed a more similar situation than giving him AR5, and he totally botched that. And if anybody thinks he didn't botch it, I mean, he benched him, and there's a lot that went on that he should have been able to handle that better, especially when AR5 came over and quit on that play, and everybody was giving him grief. As a coach, you should have said timeout. You know, you should have fixed that for him. You shouldn't have made that the way that it was a spectacle. I just think he's really, really messed up. But then again, it's like sometimes you're going to miss. Maybe AR5 looked like the guy. He wasn't the guy. Everybody might have that, you know, happen to them in their career. And this was his, you know, chance to try and take a gamble on somebody. It didn't pay off. But what have you done to correct that? You bring in Danny Dimes. That makes me feel like you are incompetent. For this Colts staff and Shane Steichen to believe that Danny Dimes is the answer makes me feel like they are incompetent. They're not just bad judges of player. They're incompetent. Straight up incompetent. There's no way Danny Dimes is going to lead this team to anything. He is such a bad quarterback. Can he scramble around? Can he make a play? Yeah, so could Zach Wilson. Remember, there would be plays where Zach Wilson would literally make a play that you're like, wow. Like in the middle of a horrible game, Zach Wilson would scramble, make an amazing throw, and you're like, geez, that was about as good as it gets. Right. That individual play, the talent that Zach Wilson kind of has somewhere in there is about as good as it gets for a player like him, and yet he's horrible. So, I mean, like, Danny Dimes could deliver something, and we might be like, what a play. But that's the most he'll ever do. And for Shane Steichen to not understand that, for him not to draft Shedeur Sanders, like, why are these teams so stupid? How do you not draft Shedeur and take a gamble in round 2? If I was a GM, we'd never know Shedeur would have fallen because I wouldn't have allowed it. I would have drafted him no matter what team I was GMing. We would have taken him in 2, and I would have never known the difference. And yeah, you could laugh and say, well, Smitty, you don't know the value. I would have taken him in 2 with a smile. So, Shane Steichen, shame on you.
If you have a quarterback problem, there's no reason to not take a chance on Shedeur.
Zero
second round
reason.
At least.
If you have Joe Burrow, zero reason to not take a chance on Shedeur Sanders. You have Josh Allen, nobody has an excuse in round 4. In round 3, maybe 2, you say, look, second rounders could still turn into something. We don't need a quarterback. This is wild. I wish we could partake in this. And maybe in that case, you say this to yourself: can we sacrifice some future picks, not sacrificing the second rounder we have today? Can we borrow from the future to go get Shedeur at this second or top of round 3 value? I would have probably said that. But if you're a team that has Burrow and Josh Allen, yeah, second rounders, I get it. But when you're the Giants or the Saints drafting Shook, who is awful, in my opinion, he's awful. Now, maybe he proves me wrong. We'll see. But for you not to say, let's get a backup plan. And Liam Cohen, who I love, shame on him too. That was the easiest thing. The one thing I thought that this draft might end up giving us would be the pairing of Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders on a team. We thought it could be Cleveland. Cleveland botched everything to a degree. I think they got a great running back. I believe in Judkins. They got a great running back in Sampson. But regardless, I feel like there's a lot of botching that went on because you could have had a much better team. But Liam Cohen dropped the ball too. How do you not, again, if let's say you feel like Shedeur's going to cast such a big shadow that it affects the development and in recovery that is Trevor Lawrence, then that means Shedeur is that good. And that means that Trevor Lawrence is not him. You should never worry about that. That is not something you should worry about. And for everybody to say, oh, well, he interviewed bad. He interviewed so bad he wasn't worth taking a chance on. You didn't think, like I said over and over, that maybe his father overshadowing everything. Just, it's kind of like one of those things where blink twice if you need help. And he's like, this isn't my personality. Get me out of here. I'm actually maybe capable of more. How that wasn't easy to see coming. We said it before the draft began. Anyway.
And I mean, drafting Shedeur, it puts pressure on Trevor Lawrence to be the best he can possibly be. With that connection that Shedeur and Travis Hunter had in college, like that would push Trevor Lawrence in a way. People are like assuming that Shedeur might start at some point if Trevor Lawrence doesn't live up to, his expectations as a quarterback. So I agree with that there. But I wanted to ask you, Smitty, if the Colts end up being a top five or bottom five team, and they have a top five pick, do you think Shane Steichen gets fired and they end up drafting a new quarterback? Because they just botched that Richardson situation. I mean, he looked so good in his rookie year, and then he gets hurt, and then his development just.
I think it
depends
on how the team looks. If they're skating by and they look like, man, this is a team that just needs a quarterback. I think even if they finish badly, I could see him giving him one more chance, but I could also see them going, look, you won 4 wins. It didn't look even pretty. And we're about to get another reset on a quarterback, and we're going to hand that decision to you so you can screw it up again. Let's get somebody else in here, and let's take a quarterback. Rather than let him ruin another opportunity to get a quarterback. So I kind of feel like, in a way, he's going to live and die by Danny Dimes, which is not how you want it to be. This is probably the worst. Being reliant on Danny Dimes is just that's not a good look. I do believe that he'll probably be fired, but it depends on how the team looks.
I just can't believe they skipped on Shedeur, man. It's just insane to me. All the teams that had a quarterback need that skipped on Shedeur. Like, just take the chance on the kid. Just take the chance. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Desmond Ritter got picked in the 3rd round, and people were like, "Oh, that's a fine pick. That's just kind of a throwaway pick. See if it works out with Desmond Ritter."
Milroe too. The fact that some teams, Milroe, the fact that you're not like the Saints going, let's just do it, or Shane Steichen, who did develop Jalen Hurts. Let's be real. Milroe is the closest thing to Jalen Hurts we'll probably see for another 5 years. This is a perfect example of a player that has the smarts and the ability to conceptualize and read defenses and mature and carry himself very well. Carry himself like Jalen Hurts in a lot of ways. Jalen Hurts, I might rip on his passing ability sometimes. Milroe's a much better passer than Jalen Hurts. But Milroe carries himself differently, like than a AR5. And I'm not trying to rip on AR5's personality or how intelligent or non-intelligent he is. He's got a heart of gold, because after all the ridicule and everything, when he started running for the locker room for the first time and sprinted ahead of everybody, I'm like, what's he doing? He's going to leave his teammates on the field? and then he goes and he runs as fast as he could to the tunnel, turns around and puts his hand up and gives every single one of his players a high five. I was like, that's awesome. Like, I was really impressed by that. But it doesn't mean he's a very intelligent quarterback. Milroe could be Jalen Hurts intelligent. Jalen Hurts is a very intelligent quarterback. He just doesn't have the cannon or the arm, accuracy, you could say, or arm strength in some cases. There's been a lot of throws where he's thrown it and it's gone like 40 yards. You're like, what? You remember that one play? Some say the ball got tipped, but it was that one play where he stepped back and tried to launch it and it went 40 yards. Anyway, appreciate you, bro. We'll see you later.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
All right. That was T. I'm going to the let's see here, the 615 caller. Did you have anything else, bro?
Not much else. I just wanted to tell you what my team looks like after the trade. That's cool with you.
Yeah, hit me with it.
All right, so now I have my starting quarterback as Dak Prescott, starting running back Aaron Jones. My second running back is going to be Tootin. I have Collins, A.J. Brown, JSN. I have McBride. I have Warren. And then my last guy would need to be Mason Taylor. And then I have a bunch of running backs like Brashard, Willie Marks.
Yeah, I got to admit, a running back stable is going to be tough to win with. Aaron Jones and who was your other one? Aaron Jones and who?
Tootin.
I mean, I like Tootin, but he's not in a position yet. Hopefully he will be. Maybe week one he is, maybe week one he isn't. I kind of guess that he's not going to be a starter in week one unless something weird happens or injury or he just looks so amazing in the next handful of months. But, I mean, Aaron Jones, you don't have Jordan Mason, cuffed to Aaron Jones? I don't know. It's kind of rough.
I can try to get him. I'm Brashard Smith.
Yeah, I like that. I wouldn't get rid of him.
Running back's going to be worse.
Who are your receivers? You got A.J. Brown and who?
JSN and Nico Collins.
What about trading Nico? What about trading Nico or A.J. Brown for an MHJ or a Garrett Wilson and then upgrading Aaron Jones to R.J. Harvey or something? Like, find the R.J. Harvey owner, find the Breece Hall owner, find the Kyron Williams owner, find the any running back like that. Henderson, sure. Henderson, Harvey, Hampton, Breece Hall, Kyron.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go find those teams and try and see if you can downgrade, quote unquote, Nico into a Garrett Wilson, into an MHJ. Make sure it's the right player. I'd even go get Travis Hunter, like Nico into Travis Hunter and Harvey. I would do that in a second. That would help save your team a little bit. All right, bro.
I'll work with it. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Let's see, 734 caller, and then back over to Ron Navy and Travis, and then Rock. Let me go to Rock out real quick. He's a Marsman card holder. I'm sorry, 71734. Hang tight, real quickly. Rock out. You're live. Rock out.
Yeah, what's like a middle round boring pick that we should be looking for that could be fantasy gold? Like for instance, like 2 years, no one's talking about like Keenan Allen, and then he produced until he got hurt like late in the year, 2 years ago.
I see what you're doing here. Let me look. Let me take a little peek at the board. Little board here. Little board peek. Little peekaroo. Let's
like somebody that's boring.
Yeah, let me see here. I think so I'm going to go from round 6 on or something, right? Round 5 on. And Debo's perfect because everyone thinks he's just boring as can be. Apparently, that's going to be number 1, but we already know that. I want to say, once we get down into this territory, I'm not seeing much yet. Kelsey a little bit. Pacheco, we talk about, that's kind of another player that potentially could rise up quite a bit. ETN, we talked about him. Maybe he's not done. Maybe Liam Cohen makes him a monster.
Kamara and weeklies.
Who?
Might only be like weekly to best ball, but Kamara in certain formats. I wouldn't want him for like a whole season. Yeah, I wouldn't want him for a whole season, but I think he's got a little.
Keon Coleman?
In the tank for,
Keon Coleman around 10. He seems as boring as can be.
Yeah.
I like him.
What do you think about Ridley?
Yeah, Ridley qualifies for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I still wonder about he's riskier, but Jaden Reed, like I wonder about him.
For sure.
But it's gonna depend on that offense. So if they use him.
John says you said you do another one. I did say I do another one.
About Judy if Tanner's play.
Real quickly, hold on one second. Everybody jump into a weeklies. I haven't hit the button yet. Click on weeklies. Hover over it. Don't click the green button yet. Just wait. John's right. I said I'd do another one. Hover over it. Just sit there and wait. Underdog promo code Smitty. Here's the link. Make sure you guys are all signed up and ready to go. I'm dropping the link right there. It's in the live chat. It's pinned in the live chat. It's in the live chat right now. It's in the description of the video. Code Smitty gets it done as well. Underdog will match your first deposit 50%, all the way up to $1,000. Minimum's only $10 though, but you do 10, they'll give you 5. All right, we are going to click on the weekly winners. 20 seconds. Green button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smash it. Jump in. If you don't, it fills quickly. It just filled. It's that quick. Don't get mad. Do a draft right alongside of us. You will have a blast. Okay? Go ahead, Rock Out. What was the last thing you were saying?
Yeah, what do you think about Judy if Sanders gets that starting job?
Judy. I like Judy. Judy qualifies as well. Definitely a good one to throw out.
I think they're a really good pair. If Shador is good, and putting him with Judy, who's runs great routes, he gets open. I think that's a good quarterback. Judy.
Yeah, I like that one, Rock Out. That's a good one. Definitely could be. Could be a nice little surprise. All right, hang tight, Rock Out. Let me swing back around real quickly. Let me go back over to the other caller that was from the 734. What's your name and where are you calling from, my boy? Is Ian?
Yeah, what's up? It's Ian. Yeah,
Ian,
Los Angeles.
What's up, Ian?
Yeah, how you doing, brother? You
good,
actually just answered my super chat about Kittle. That was me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah.
Did I answer the question right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's just a position I'm struggling with a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end.
Well, you know what?
But my question was, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you get Mahomes, and if it's best ball, Mahomes and Kittle, and then grab Noah Gray, and then grab a likely. That's kind of my plan of attack sometimes. Not all the time, but I draft so much Mahomes lately. Ingram and Nix, right. I love grabbing together. I like Andrews and likely, and maybe a Kyle Pitts or something. I think that kind of combo is pretty interesting. But if we're talking about non-best ball, I really like Ingram. I really like likely. I think I those are kind of my go-tos right now if I had to throw something at you.
Yeah, have you seen enough from Mark Andrews? Are you just good on that? Is that why the likely thing is so
you're on the clock for you?
Yeah, let's go, man. I'm going to go neighbors here. I like, the reason I love likely so much is because this coaching staff's finally talking about making him a Pro Bowler, and I understand that they've kind of talked him up before and then they didn't use him, but I really think it's going to change this time. I really do. I think that Andrews is going to be either dialed back or he gets injured. And even if Andrews stays on the field and they use him a little less, likely he's going to be potentially a wide receiver threat a lot of the time. He's somebody who can line up out wide and essentially play a wide receiver role. I really like him. And the fact that they're talking him up as being, I think Harbaugh did himself say that he wants to make him an all-pro this year. So that's a big statement. And I didn't see his ADP really
Time's out.
I didn't see his ADP move too much.
Yeah, we saw the talent week one for sure. When they let him cook, he's got the ability. There's no doubt about it. I have one more question for you if you have time. I hear you talking up Breece and Garrett a lot, which I agree with a lot. I'm taking those guys a ton. But where are you on Fields in general as just for redraft purposes? Are you good just kind of punting QB and going Fields in 9-10? Because I just don't see a world where he doesn't have
it's running
a 4,000 yard, 25 plus touchdown season.
I'll tell you what. This is weeklies, right? Let me just double check. Yeah, we're on weeklies. I'm gonna go. Do we go H-N or Bucky? H-N or Bucky, guys? Yell it out. 7 seconds.
Bucky.
I'm drafting against you. I ain't gonna tell you any.
All right, we'll go Bucky. Bucky and Neighbors. Are you in this one, Ron?
Yeah. I timed out because I didn't know that you were doing 20-second clock.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm in it.
What draft slot are you, Ron?
I'm behind you. I'm in the turn.
Okay.
Well,
I'm at 11.
Rock out.
Rockout's right before me.
Genty in London. I like it. Rock out. Derrick Henry and BT. That's pretty good, Ron. Derrick Henry's not bad in weeklies. I mean, definitely.
No, I wasn't going to
That's
take Henry though.
Yeah.
I timed out and got Henry.
I got you.
No, not a bad consolation.
What were we talking about?
Nah, I was gonna take Bucky.
What were we talking about?
But I timed out, so you got lucky.
I got lucky getting Bucky. What was the topic? What were we talking about?
No, I was asking you about Justin Fields, like in redraft.
Yeah.
Are you cool just kind of like punting in that spot and just here and just rolling with Fields? He just feels like he could easily get. I mean, he's going to throw for 3,000.
Yeah.
Right?
So
here's rush for 700.
Here's kind of my thinking on that. It's not that I mean, obviously I have him on the Moon Man list. I'll show you right here.
The Moon Man.
Right.
Fields is on the Moon Man list, but
outer space.
the thing is, I love him in best ball a lot because then I don't have to make any decisions about when to start him and when not to start him. It's optimal scoring. Your top scoring quarterbacks gets thrown in there, and I don't like necessarily relying only upon him when I can go get these players that I just like a little bit more, like Bo Nix, Mahomes, JD5, Josh Allen, all these. But I have found myself loving taking Fields as a second quarterback in best ball because I can enjoy him starting a lot of games for me, and I just but I don't hate the idea of drafting him and like a Bo Nix together. I think that's probably what I would do. I don't know that I would draft just him. Maybe I'd take Fields and Cam. If, let's say, I kept getting sniped at quarterback, I'd be fine with it if that's the way it happened. Because if I have Fields and Cam Ward, then I probably have a really, really, really good deep team because I didn't have to use one of those spots or two of those spots on an earlier quarterback. So instead of like Mahomes, I'll have another Debo. Or instead of JD5 or Josh Allen, I'm going to have Travis Hunter or Hampton or something like that. So it's not bad. I don't dislike it. Fields could easily be QB8, easily. But I just tend to like Nix and Mahomes are like my fail-safe quarterbacks that I almost always in non-best ball find a way to draft. But I don't hate the idea.
I think it's a good question though. If you are to go that route, what other QBs? I don't know. You might have to look at it. So maybe it's too tough to do right now. But like aside from Ward. Would you? Because obviously you want to get that fail safe. You're taking Fields as your one. I was going to say Penix, yep.
Dak, Penix, those are all. I'm definitely, if you're going to go Fields as your starter in non-best ball, grab one of Dak who falls super late. Kyler, Penix Jr. You'll easily be able to grab those guys without spending anything even higher than like an 80 or 90 overall pick. So you can get your entire quarterback room after pick like 85.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too. Where are you on Kyler? Because I'm kind of a fan personally, but I'm in a league with some Arizona homies, and they're Cardinal boys, and they do not. They're like not fans of Kyler at all.
Oh,
are you out? Are you in? Like they're not fans.
Kyler can score fantasy points, man. Keep in mind we're literally less than a calendar year away from people. He was like everyone's like darling quarterback. He was a top 5 breakout, and I don't think the talent's gone. I just think that it was a mess of a year. The play calling was bad. They didn't use MHJ properly. His route tree was really, really minimized. I'm fine with it, bro. I'm absolutely fine with it.
So you're a little more up on him, even as in comparison to last year. Like you see them improving. I feel like if their OC, what's his name, Petzig, he doesn't get MHJ more involved, and Kyler doesn't ball a little bit this year, he's fired. No,
you got to think so, bro. Real quickly, guys, Burrow here in the 4th round. It's pretty good. Hampton, Burrow. It's either between Hampton and Burrow. I think I'm going to go. Damn it.
Burrow.
Yeah, and weekly winners, let's go Burrow here.
I like Burrow.
Go Burrow.
I know
Ron
it.
Navy from the 12 spot has Derrick Henry, BTJ, T. Higgins. Burrow wouldn't have made it back to you. Don't worry, Ron. I didn't snipe you.
I know he wouldn't have.
And Terry McLaurin. And then Rockout, who's got Genty. He's in the 11th spot.
I'm
Rockout's
just
got
gonna snipe everybody.
Genty, London, JSN, Mike Evans. I like how you're taking it out on me, and I have nothing to do with anything yet.
No. I'm sniping everybody. I took the guy who took Jaden Daniels. That's why I took McLaurin.
Ron will throw $10 away just to spite someone. No questions asked. It's not even a consideration.
Yep.
That's like salt and pepper
Sure will.
to him. That's a handful of salt.
Yep.
Just-
Welcome
It
to Smitty's life.
Welcome to
every night drafting with everybody.
Yeah.
Sniped up and right.
Yeah, Ron, you'd lose your mind if you were in my shoes drafting with your own people and they're just grabbing.
Oh, I've done it before with you. I know what it's like.
Yeah, it's getting worse though. Is there anybody that's been completely reached on in this draft? TM42's
Not
in
yet.
here. TM42's in here. He's got Allen, Bijan, Jacobs, and Pickens. He hasn't been doing any crazy stuff. I mean, Pickens is pretty early in the 4th round, but I don't think that it's not like sniping me or anything. That's a little early there, but I mean, the receivers flew off the board. You went RB, QB, RB, and man, the receiver, you almost got DK, but the receivers haven't been there. Yeah. TM42 on the clock takes Devontae. That was not a bad recovery there, my boy. Devontae Smith, if A.J. Brown goes down, he goes up in tremendously in value. And not to mention this is weekly, so Pickens and Devontae Smith, can they both have a huge week? Yeah, sure. Vader says J-Mo in the 4th. Vader, not me, bro. I think I appreciate you, Vader. You can do that all day long. But I'm not touching J-Mo in the 4th round. Hubbard.
I think he might be against it. He put LOL.
Oh, okay.
He might be with you.
I got you, Vader. Okay, my bad. He's basically saying we're bumping other players down. I got you. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Hampton falling to freaking 51 overall. That's unbelievable. Okay, now he's throwing the throw up emoji out. Okay, man. This is tough. I got Rock out and Ron Navy at the turn here. There's no way. I mean, there's no way my players fall to me. I got to pick one. I know
you're taking Harvey. Taking Harvey, or you're taking Hunter. You're taking Hunter, and you're taking Harvey. And in whatever one you don't take, that's who's Rock out's going to take the other one.
I know. I'm going to go Harvey because I need a running back. But damn, I wanted to take Travis Hunter, but he's gone. There's no way he slips past both you and Rock out even one time, let alone on the.
No, he's not gonna pass Rock out.
Rock out's like he goes Trey Henderson.
Oh, he did.
Rock out will throw a curveball at you. You challenge Rock out, he's like a bear. You challenge Rock out, and he might do something unexpected.
Rock out is definitely the quickest at translating, like when you put up a subject on how you're going to draft.
Yeah,
he turns that around so fast and drafts that way.
Yeah, Rock out
so quick at it.
Definitely knows how to implement. Let's see here. I have no tight end. Laporta's not bad here. The only reason I don't want to take Laporta here is because of Gump. But let's put.
You're gonna let Gump decide your.
No, I'm not. That's why I'm going to put it aside, and I'm going to take Laporta. Run. And not because I want to piss Gump off, because it annoys me to draft Laporta now. Because I don't even want to hear it. Gump acts like I don't talk up Lion players. You talk about Gibbs all day long. We founded St. Brown. This channel founded Amon-Ra St. Brown. People barely knew who he was. He came off of a rookie year where he was barely used in the final 4 or 5 games. We identified the target usage. We identified everything about his 4 or 5 games. And that's all he did, is he gave a splash of 4 game sample size. And we extrapolated. We did the math. We crunched the numbers, the flux capacitor, molecule structures, and extrapolated the data across continuums and ripple effects. And we came out with Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna smash. Not you, Gump. We found him. We told you. Henderson was a great pick, by the way. And I love that Rockout didn't use the influence of the talk, because he needed an RB more than he needed Travis Hunter. And they're pretty damn close. So he went with best player available, lean toward position of need. So that was an excellent move by Rockout. Ron Navy couldn't resist going Hunter, so he kept piling up the wide receivers. Ron, you got a really good wide receiver room. And you still got Derrick Henry, so this will be interesting to see what you do. Honestly, you know what would be a great approach for you? And I cannot promise that I won't draft Tootin or something, but if you were to get that entire room, if you took Tootin early, let's say, I don't know, then all of a sudden this team could be that team. And I
don't know. We'll see.
You're like, shut up. Shut your mouth.
No,
Shut your mouth, Smitty.
I just gotta wait until my pick until I see who's there.
Shut your mouth.
He's not going to let you know his next move.
Well, the good thing is he's pretty far down there. Okay, I'm on deck here. I think there's a player I'm going to take here. I hope I don't piss off Ron Navy. It's not going to be...
You're going to.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to or not. This is... I look at your team, and I know you don't have a clue.
I know what you're... Now you just did. Yep, that's who I was going to take.
Well, I didn't know.
Yep,
I don't even know if you like Bo Nix these days, to be honest.
Exactly who I was going to take, because everybody else is gone. And you already had one. So, good job.
I'm so mad. I didn't know. I have no idea that's.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know that you love Bo Nix. I don't know that you love Bo Nix. Actually, I don't remember if you liked him or not.
Whatever. I like him a lot better than Fields or anybody else.
I didn't take ETN. I left him in case you wanted to do that. That Liam.
Whatever.
Cole.
I don't want ETN. Sorry, ass.
I like Dak a lot. If I would have known Ron, I would have probably taken Dak later. I would have been okay with that.
There. I ain't giving you Ingram.
Ron's so spiteful. He's so spiteful. I even prefaced, I don't know if this is who Ron wants. I'm kind of apprehensive about taking it. And Ron just, you punched me in the gut for the last time, Smitty. Let's go with, jeez. You know what? You don't want him? I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't want him.
Ron grabbed Evan Ingram, though.
I know. Didn't you hear him? He said, I'm not giving you Ingram. He took him because I took Knicks. The funny part is, Ron, I'm not trying to and have not yet purposefully sniped you. I have not tried to.
I had a starting quarterback already.
Yeah, but I bully QB every draft. You'd be asked almost every single draft. Ask the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be asking me to change my behaviors for you versus just try and politely figure out, man, do I need this guy?
No.
I could have taken Kelsey and I didn't.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good with it. Ingram's going to work out great.
What I'm saying is, I didn't at all have a spiteful, or I didn't have at all a snipeful bone in my body when I took that pick. I was like, I don't know if this is who Ron wants right now. I thought maybe you wanted a running back. So I'm like, maybe Ron.
Why would I want a running back?
Because you've got one
running back right now.
Because you've got one running back.
I have no quarterback.
And you've got no second running back. So I mean, at the same time, I bully QB all the time, though. I bully QB all the time. I didn't even know if you like Bo Nix, to be honest. You haven't been on the show.
I do like. We've talked about Bo Nix. I actually told you that I think they're going to win the West. I think they're going to beat. They're gonna win the West over Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They got the better defense too.
Buka, nice pick, TM42. And Buka, I would have definitely snagged next. I would have definitely grabbed him. Well, I got it
after this.
What?
Oh, actually, go ahead.
I was gonna say I
go ahead.
got to now worry about Ron trying to snipe all my picks. I'm not even trying to take his picks, but I still have landmines.
I already know who you're gonna go for next. You're gonna if he's there, you're gonna take Jordan Mason.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you will. If
No,
he's there,
I don't need Jordan Mason. I'll leave it for you. I'm a giver. I'm literally trying not to snipe you. I tried to talk out the strategy with you. I was like, you could get ETN, and you're like, I don't want ETN. He's trash. So like I was trying to see what can we cook up for Ron, and yet
so funny.
I make one pick and
Ron's feeling playful.
He is.
I love it. I haven't been able to be spiteful in a long time.
Yeah, real quick before you make this pick, if you have time. So I forget who it is.
Well, he said he wanted Mason, so I'm gonna go Sharps. Now that's gonna be the wrong choice. You can be like, I was gonna take Sharps, but you told me you wanted Mason, so I left Mason.
Oh, that's all right.
So now you want Sharps?
No.
Oh,
I'm good.
Okay, there you go. Mason fell to you. Ron was probably joking. He was probably joking and didn't even want Mason. Okay, he did. Okay.
I do want Mason.
Okay. All right.
I wanted Scatterboo too, but what's his name got him.
Yeah, Rockout's got that unlocked. Keon Coleman, nice pick. I like that. Although I probably would have went. Well, you know what you're doing. Ron knows what he's doing. He's got it unlocked. Just whatever you do, don't take Caleb Williams here, guys. Don't snipe him from me.
Caleb Williams.
Please don't do it.
Dang, I pressed the wrong button.
Damn, man. I went Tyler Warren, but I only did that because I was going to time out. I don't mind it, though. I mean, Laporta, Warren's pretty good. And in weeklies, I can literally not draft another tight end if I want because they have different bye weeks, and I'm not worried about buys of any kind anyway.
So in the chat, John was asking about the Fields check down at Ohio State. I don't know what his numbers were checking down at Ohio State, but last year he was number one in check down rate at almost 15% of the time.
Who
was?
Justin Fields.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Justin,
small sample, but
yeah, no. Justin Fields, he checked down his running backs almost more depending on the data you look at, more than anybody last year.
Right.
He was top 5.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
We've said
this
that
has,
channel.
I'm looking at it has Fields, Derek Carr, Bo Nix, Russell Wilson, Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, no, we've said that on the show plenty. People say he doesn't throw his quarterbacks. Yeah. Last year he was top 5.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure. Check down monster, baby. All right, let's see here.
And,
go ahead.
Yeah, wait till you.
No, go ahead. I got a ways.
Oh, okay. Someone in the chat keeps asking, so I figure I'll ask you for them. Would you trade Amon-Ra for A.J. Brown in the 2027 first? The 14-team Superflex.
Where's the first? Can he answer where the first rounder is, and we'll get back to him? Because that's certainly going to depend. I'd rather have Amon-Ra unless it's a high pick, a really high pick. Dynasty trade Leggett. I'm sorry. Fullbrook, are you still here, bro? I pulled this up on another screen and I didn't answer it. Fullbrook, let me know if you're still here, bro. I apologize. Dynasty trade Leggett for Bigsby. I'd rather have Bigsby, probably. I guess. I'd rather have Bigsby. But it's close. Very, very close.
Fullbrook. Mid-first round, probably.
Mid-first? I'd probably rather have St. Brown. I don't know. I guess it depends on... I better do this now before Ron snipes me. I took Bashal Tootin to go with ETN. I've got Sharbs. I've got Tyler Warren. I'm trying to look out for you, Ron. I'm trying to pick your brain as to what you might need, and then I'm kind of I'm going to try and sidestep. I've been trying to do that. Trevor Lawrence, okay. Little rebound city. You know, he's pretty good in weeklies because I think he's one of those guys. Grendo, I love that pick. I think, yeah, weeklies, Grendo and Henry. It might come down to 1 week when Grendo is in there, and that's great for you. That's fantastic. I might as well do this now so I don't get sniped. It's a little early, but I'm going to go Bigsby here. And then my running back room is Bucky, Harvey, ETN, Sharbs, Tootin, Bigsby. My quarterback room is Joe Burrow, Bo Nix. My wide receiver room, I still only have 2 wide receivers. I have Neighbors and Garrett Wilson, which is unbelievable. But I have Laporta and Tyler Warren. I'm going to probably smash wide receiver here soon. But when I get 2 wide receivers like that, I tend to bulk up at the other positions, and then I'm just going to have like a rotation of guys in hopes that I get like that deep sleeper wide receiver smash, and then to go with Garrett Wilson and Neighbors, and that's all I need is to land that, and then boom, weekly winner. 20K! Cha-ching! Pizza party! Ron's going to snipe the pizza from me, too. Well, there's going to be 1 slice of pep left, and he's going to just look at me down in the line and go, remember that draft? Remember that draft, Smitty? Bo Nix? And I'm going to yell, I'm 3 spots away from the pep. I'm going to say, Ron, I didn't know you wanted Bo Nix. You're going to like, you wanted this pepperoni slice, didn't you, Smitty?
Yeah.
Let me review the teams real quickly. I don't think when I joined this, there was like 5 open spots. Ron got 1, Rockout got 1, and TM42 got 1. And I don't really know who else is from our group. I'm not sure, but I'll go from the top right, so Ron Navy's team, and move my way on down. So let me pull this here. Derrick Henry, BT, P. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Travis Hunter, Deebo Samuel. I mean, amazing wide receivers. And honestly, I mean, this is going to live and die by Mason and Garendo. Ironically, a duo from last year. But if Garendo gets in there, that's the week you're going to be vying for 20K. It's a good team, man. Dak Prescott's fully capable. I like this team a lot. It's actually a really good weekly winner team. Yeah. Rock out, Genty, Drake.
Dak can go up to 40 points any week.
Who?
Dak can go for like 35, 40 points any week.
Yeah, Dak could have 50-point game, anytime he wants. Come on, man. This guy must be in our group. Took Luther Burden from me right there. Damn it. I guess I'm going to go. I'm sorry. I don't know who has Igbuka. I'm sorry. Jalen McMillan. I don't think it's Ron. Please not be Ron. No, he doesn't.
No, it's not me.
Oh, TM42 had Igbuka. He wouldn't have made it back to you. He was too high. It's like my nightmare is taking Ron's guy. Like I'm not even I'm never trying. Derrick Henry. Okay,
I was gonna say, Ron's got you a little shook right now.
Yeah, Ashton Genty, Drake London, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mike Evans, Trey Henderson, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Jaden Reed, Cam Scattaboo, Javante. Nice job there, Rock Out. My team is team number 9. Malik Neighbors, Bucky Irving, Garrett Wilson, Joe Burrow, R.J. Harvey, Sam Laporta, Bo Nix, Travis Etienne, Charbonnet, Tyler Warren. I got Charbonnet, and I've got all of the Jacksonville guys, the running backs, all 3 of them. And then over to TM42, who's got Bijan in 2 spot, Josh Allen, Josh Jacobs, Pickens, Devontae Smith, Roma Dunze, Baker, Cooper Kupp, Ibuka, and Likely. Likely's a great pick. I think that's great. I'm sorry if I didn't know who had Ibuka. I knew I'd seen it somewhere, but I don't think Jalen McMillan would have made it back anyway. So I don't think I sniped him from him at the end of the day. Let's go wide receiver shopping. What can we get? Who's there? I'm going to time out. Michael Wilson's not bad. I'll cue Michael Wilson in case I Keenan Allen. Michael Wilson, I guess. Not horrible. I got to say, I'm not like thrilled. I was hoping Luther Burden would fall, but I'm not thrilled about my wide receiver 3. I've got Garrett Wilson, Neighbors, smashing my 2 receivers, and then I got McMillan, Jalen McMillan, and Michael Wilson. So, but there's some other players I might grab later. Keenan Allen would be interesting, I think. Let's see. There's a couple players I like. Pat Bryant was definitely a guy I would have loved to have seen on the way back, but Ron's still taking it out on me. Not only that, but he takes Dante Thornton and Pat Bryant. Takes both of them. And
Brian wasn't going to get past me.
Yeah, probably not.
Gotta love the turn.
And I haven't even tried to snipe Ron on purpose one time. But Ron's literally taking the gloves off, and he's just, Smitty, you should have known I like Bo Nix. He didn't even have a Denver Bronco. I had R.J. Harvey before you ever thought about drafting Bo Nix. If anything, you should have said, Smitty, you got R.J. Harvey. I see what you're doing here. You were trying to snipe me, is the way I look at it, Ron.
No, I had T. Higgins and you took Burrow.
But Burrow was never making it back to you. Never. So it's either let your friend get him or no one.
Maybe. Never know.
He would not have made it back. Damn you boys. Damn you boys.
This is my first weekly I think I've done.
Yeah, you're trying to draft off other people's teams, and you might be throwing it away, Ron. You got a good start here. What are you doing?
Hey, you never know. This might be the team that smashes it.
Maybe. Wouldn't that suck if you reverse engineered it and you're like, man, if I just wouldn't have tried to snipe everybody, this would have won $20K twice.
What if it does win $20K twice?
Well, then
there you go.
Good on you.
Well, then I got to give you some because you motivated me.
Yeah, I like that idea. All right, let's go with a little. This guy might be one of our people because he keeps sniping on occasion here. So, okay, no, Nick Chubb, definitely not my guy. I'm gonna go Yoshi Voss here because I feel like one of you guys are gonna get cute, especially Ron. He's been sniping everybody. But I got Burrow and Yoshi. That could be my secret weapon weekly winner third wide receiver. Because if Joe Burrow goes crazy and let's say T or and T Higgins and Chase don't have to even get hurt. I mean, Yoshi could still have like a
T Higgins is great, but he seems like he just scheduled in 5 games off every year now. That's the season.
sure.
5 games out. And the rest of the time he's in, he's a monster. Because I think last year he missed 5 games. He was like wide receiver 17 still.
Yep. Man, I really... Whoa, why are there 2 Sean Tuckers? Is anybody else seeing that?
Are they both on the...
Ron, look, go running back. Sean Tucker is like maybe a scroll down, and then there's another Sean Tucker.
Huh.
Who did I saw that was someone else one time, too. Where they, like, duplicated somehow.
And he just vanished. That was weird. That was crazy. I wish I had that.
I see Sean Tucker at 215.
Yeah, but it just vanished on me. That was crazy.
Huh.
That was wild. I had them both checked. There's 2 Sean Tuckers. I was tempted to draft both to see what would happen, but then he vanished. Let me go back and see if it's there. So Sean Tucker, and then yeah, he's gone. That was wild. I wonder what would happen if you drafted 2 of one player. Like, would the draft cancel? Man, I wish I had that. I should have screenshotted that. Son of a bee. That was wild. Yeah. And they were
either that or the player would just go away. But that's weird if they were like ranked differently.
Yeah, they were. They were about eight running back picks apart, and I had one of them checked. I should have screenshotted it because I was thinking maybe you guys don't see it and it's like a glitch. Like maybe it was 2 different ADPs loading, like one from weekly winners and one like it somehow, I don't know. Damn, that was weird. And I made sure I wasn't looking at like Trey Tucker. I'm on running backs. They both were Tampa Bay by week 9. Sean Tucker, running back. One said 73, one said something else, but they were the same exact player. That was wild. All right, what do I do with this last 2 picks, boys? My team. I mean, I don't really have like a plan of attack with weeklies. I don't need more than 2 tight ends or 2 quarterbacks necessarily, but you know, I guess the way to look at it is that if I've got Tyler Warren and Laporta, if everybody pops off except for my tight end and one gets hurt, you know, I don't know. Ron, if I were you, I would take Jordan James.
I don't even know who that is.
Are you saying that just so you don't get sniped? He's the rookie running back for the Niners. So if you cuffed him and Garendo, you'd be in pretty good shape.
I mean, he seems to be like really solid. Like
that's not my thing, though.
All right.
I need these last 2 to be tight ends.
All right. Okay. Where will Keenan Allen sign? I don't know. I picked him up just because I think he could be a really good wide receiver 3 at times. But, I mean, there's thought about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I keep hearing Steelers.
I mean, that's definitely possible.
I mean, he still got gas in the tank. Sure.
Do I go another tight end? Or do I go... I think I'm going to go Milrow. And now I get another QB. All right, let me throw my squad up on screen. And we can review it real quickly. Then I'll be probably bouncing everybody off the phone line. Who else is on the phone line? Rock Out, you're still there?
Yeah.
And I think everybody else hung up. So Rock Out, what else you got tonight before I bounce everybody off the phone line one at a time? Thank you, John, for the super chat.
You think Sean Tucker's like a must cuff to Bucky?
I think he kind of should be. Thanks again, Fulbrook. Are you still here? Bullbrook, let me know if you're here. I do think Sean Tucker is a really good cuff to Bucky, but a must cuff, it just depends. Like, would I rather have Dylan Sampson? Sometimes Dylan Sampson got snagged. This team right here, again, weekly winners, not concerned about bye weeks at all. I'm just drafting the best players I can, highest scoring potential players, to try and get them all to smash at the same time and win 20K for any one individual weekly win. Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, Jalen Milroe, Bucky, Harvey, Etienne, Charbonnet, Tootin, Bigsby, Sean Tucker. Really good running back room. I mean, Liam Cohen running backs with Charbonnet, Tucker and Bucky cuffed, and Harvey. Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, Jalen McMillan, Michael Wilson, Yoshi Voss, and Keenan Allen. Probably could have used another receiver, but at the same time, I'm fine with that. I think Keenan Allen will have a job. So, and then Sam Laporta and Tyler Warren. Pretty good squad that's capable of winning 20K, I think. Joe Burrow, Bucky, Harvey, Jaguar back or Sharbs, Neighbors and Garrett Wilson, and then Laporta. Like, the only weak link is that third wide receiver spot, which I think it'll be okay. Yoshi Voss could easily be, if I'm using Burrow that week and Burrow goes nuts and Yoshi gets like 2 TDs and 40 yards, that's going to be fine. Rock out, anything else? My man.
What do you think about the flyer Tesla I did? If he gets like 1 or 2 good weeks.
Tesla, yeah. I think in weeklies, he's definitely going to have a string of games, like 4 or 5 games where he gets a lot of work for some reason. I do. I don't know about non-best ball. Would I take a chance? Probably not. But I like him in best ball, bro. 18 round, good pick in 18 round, 17 round territory. All right, rock out. Call him tomorrow, my boy. Appreciate you.
All right, cool.
Ron Navy, any final thoughts, young man? Did you have yourself a steak tonight? Did you have a steak tonight, or did you go with?
I cooked up 2 of them. I cooked up a T-bone and a ribeye.
Okay, 2. You need to have both of those, huh?
Well, yeah, but I didn't eat them both.
Leftover steak is rough.
I always do 2. No, it's not. It's awesome.
Well, I
Depends
guess
what cut you get.
I guess if you grill it again, sure. Do you grill it again?
You never had like a steak sandwich?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, microwave steak's horrible though. You got to grill it or put it in the pan.
Yeah, it's easy to warm up, but I also like it cold.
Okay. All right.
Because I don't cook. I mean, I cook mine rare.
You know what else you like cold? Your sniping draft style. That cold draft heart of yours. Ice cold draft heart. Didn't even try to snipe Ron once. All right, Ron, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, it was fun though, because I haven't had a chance to do that in a while.
Yeah, Ron hasn't stepped on people's toes in a while. He's been kind of calm lately. He felt good. We might have woken a giant. All right, later, Ron.
All right, later.
He's like the movie, the movie Falling Down. Just push him over the limit. Just one extra push. All right, Travis. Glad to have you back. If you need more time, make sure you.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We were just worried. I'm glad you're back. I like I said, we went through a little Travis withdrawals. So good to know you're wanted. I'm sure.
Just throwing a heads up out there. Just kind of turned off for a couple days.
Yeah,
I'm good though.
All right, cool.
So I guess my last thing I'll ask about in the chat, Rain. He was saying he's in a tight end premium. His wide receivers are Chase Neighbors, Hunter, Aguka, Flowers, etc. He's good at wide receiver. He's wondering, in that format, the tight end premium, he needs a tight end really bad. Would you trade Hunter and Fryermuth for Ladd McConkey and Tyler Ward?
And who? Cam Ward?
Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren.
Ladd
So,
McConkey.
Travis Hunter and And who was it for Ladd and Tyler Warren?
Freiermuth.
I mean, Ladd's got higher ADP than Travis Hunter, and I don't necessarily disagree that I'm fine going in either direction. I know I'm really high on Travis Hunter. I really am, and I think he could be better than Ladd McConkey. There's a chance, but Ladd is so safe that you can't overlook the fact that if you're in a tight end premium, Tyler Warren's got tons of upside. I don't hate that move either way. And at the end of the day, like, Ladd McConkey might get you more in trade. So I kind of almost do it maybe even for that alone. However, I mean, geez, man, that's tough because I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with me here. And this is kind of like, just keep in mind when I say this, that there was a moment where I would have said this about trading Achane away for a top 5 running back or Bucky or Kyron, right? So Achane's everybody's darling now. The whole industry loves Achane. Achane could be running back 1. People say Achane could be a top 5 running back. Of course he can. Everyone loves Achane now. The whole world loves him. I think Travis Hunter is going to be on that track too. So there will be a time where no one trades Travis Hunter for a wide receiver that's getting drafted in the 15 plus territory. So I'm okay not making this trade, and I'm okay making this trade. Part of me wonders if you offered me Ladd McConkey in the Dynasty League where I made that Travis Hunter trade with Ron, or that league where we're all in it. Travis is in it, Ron's in it. It's a follower league. It's kind of a fun league. I got Travis Hunter in that league, and I don't know what I'd tell you if you offer me Ladd McConkey. And I know some people are going to call that crazy, but people called me crazy when I said I wouldn't trade Achane for running back JT or Josh Jacobs or whatever. And now Achane's worth way more than those guys. So, you know, it sometimes being ahead of the curve, and maybe I'll be wrong. It's a lonely place, but I don't know. I think Ladd
feels like a 90 to 100 catch guy, you know. That's nothing to...
Yeah. I mean, it's safe.
You know,
it's safe. It might be a similar thing to, like, wanting Hampton over Harvey or something, where it's like, okay, Hampton's safe. You know what you're getting into with Hampton. If you're worried about Harvey's age, or you're worried about Harvey's competition with JK, or you're worried about Sean Payton screwing it up, there's more risk involved, just like there's more risk with Travis Hunter. Will he translate to a top 5 to 10 wide receiver? Is BTJ going to hold him back from ever being that? I don't think so, but I guess that's a tough one, man. I guess I'd also say, is there something in the I mean, does the scoring allow for Hunter to have those extra points? You know, I know it's not going to be necessarily a lot each year to get a touchdown or two. Like, let's say he has 2 to 3 touchdowns a year on defense, which is a lot if you were to expect that. But that's still, I mean, that's a lot of points, I suppose. You know, what if he did score 18 more points a year or something? Rain says he doesn't.
No, he just said it doesn't. Yeah. So it's just as offensive.
I like Ladd a lot. I do. I don't know. What are you thinking, Travis? I mean, would you rather have Ladd, the safety of Ladd, to go with Tyler Warren and tight end premium, or it's probably smarter? But would you rather?
So yeah, I mean, head to head, I'd be a little hesitant because I think Hunter is a stud. Like, I think he's probably better than Ladd. But when you're looking at it in this context, the jump from a Freiermuth to a Tyler Warren is a pretty big jump. And Ladd and Hunter are close enough, especially when he's working with, I know you don't always factor these things in, but the fact that it's his third wide receiver as opposed to having to rely on him as your first, because he has Jason Neighbors in front of him, so he can take on a little bit of that risk maybe. So, and like you said, though, Ladd is safe. You know, there's not a lot of risk with that.
You're going to have a lot of people, I think, later in the comments, not in the live stream, because most of the live streamer viewers, they're like on, they're not necessarily, I'm not saying that they necessarily agree with this context, but they understand it because they're here a lot. They hear me, they hear my rationalization. But Pastor Buyer, I know there's going to be comments, but like, this guy's crazy. Ladd over Hunter, he's a DB. Like, we're going to see a lot of that in the comments, and that's fine. But There's also a world of ADP valuing and juggling where you're like, okay, Lad's got much more trade value now, but at the same time, if it's different to draft and trade, and there's so many different angles to this thing. Like if you believe Hunter's going to be a top 5 wide receiver and Lad's going to be 9 to 12, very good wide receiver, but 9 to 12, then you're not going to get Hunter back. Like, this is a time to say you do want to hold on to the player if you do believe better. But in a tight end premium, he's got Freiermuth, and that's it. God, Muth took a nuts.
He didn't say who else he had at tight end. So.
I love Tyler Warren, but I also worry a little bit about the fact that I don't trust a single quarterback that's tossing him the ball.
Situation, yeah. A little tough.
I think he'll be
a little tough.
A lot of design plays for him, though. Chat, let's vote on it. Can I get a string of which side you want? Lad and Tyler Warren, or Travis Hunter, and you'd be starting Freiermuth at tight end. So give me a Travis Hunter or Lad answer in the chat, please. And you can like Lad all you want, but understand that I think Travis Hunter could be top 5 in the league at wide receiver. I look at Travis Hunter, I see JJ. You might not. I do. I see JJ. I see a guy that roams around in a way that no other player roams around the field. We're getting a consensus.
His skill set is unique. Yeah, people love Lad. And then, I think obviously Warren is a long term, definitely an upgrade over Freiermuth. And I'm not a huge Freiermuth guy, but Freiermuth is like the definition of safe. Like, he's finished as tight end 13, 8, 30. He was hurt in 9, so he's going to be in that 8 to 15 range of tight ends.
Also, keep in mind, though, that one of the most likely players to get traded could be Freiermuth.
Yeah.
What if he gets traded in a great situation or something, I don't know.
Yeah. And Rodgers does like throwing to his tight ends. He does throw to him.
Mm-hmm.
Freiermuth is solid. Not elite. Tyler Warren could be a top 5 tight end. I don't think Freiermuth is probably ever crossing into that, but he's safe.
Lad ran away with the vote, but Blico said Hunter. I guess what I also want to ask you, though, Rain, is what are the odds that you're winning now? Because you still have time. If it's not now, if you're kind of a little ways away, you could maybe develop this quarterback spot. You could maybe pick up Fannin. You could maybe pick up Gadsden. What if Gadsden or Fannin?
Is there a way to get
Tyler Warren? Fannin could be better than Tyler Warren.
Yeah. Is there a way to get Warren without doing the Hunter and Lad? Is there something else you can figure out in a trade too? You just hold on to Hunter.
Arthur Smith's going to run 2 tight end sets for sure, but they also have another tight end, bro. That's kind of a cemented part of the offensive line. So Freiermuth is the most expendable of the 3 tight ends in Pittsburgh, and they might trade one of them.
Yeah,
they've been trying
to. Yeah, there was a rumor about John.
Right. I keep saying they're trying to replace Freiermuth. People are like, "We just give him an extension." Well, then why are they shopping constantly for a tight end? And it's not like Washington is a special case of offensive line / tight end that is more important than Freiermuth to this offense. So they could easily trade Freiermuth. What if Muth got
Aaron
traded?
Rodgers was
What?
Oh, I was going to say Aaron Rodgers was raving about Darnell Washington last week too, so he likes him.
Where could Muth go where he gets his value back?
I'd take him on the Patriots, but besides that, he needs a tight end. Houston, he'd be a slight upgrade over Schultz.
I mean,
Bengals.
Buffalo, they don't think that Kincaid exists, so.
You know. The Jaguars, he'd be. I mean, there's a lot of mouths to feed, but I think he's potentially an upgrade over Strange. I think Strange is good.
I think the Dolphins should have asked for Freiermuth to come back in the trade, but they didn't. Bengals. I mean, they like their situation, but yeah, I don't know that there's a lot of. Maybe an injury happens though. Like, what if Goddard gets injured or something?
And yeah. He'd be good with the Eagles. Yeah. Besides that, though, I mean, Panthers. If Damian Sanders doesn't pan out.
Who cares about tight ends unless your name is Bowers? What about McBride, bro? McBride could outscore Bowers. Either one could outscore the other. Come on, Blico. Let's not act like McBride can't be tight end one in a rotational manner with Bowers. They're both the most electric tight ends in the game by far. Commanders, I mean, maybe, yeah, I agree. It's a thought, but I don't think Adam Peters is trading for Freiermuth. I think he likes Ben Sinnott. They drafted Ben Sinnott for a reason. Ben McBride isn't in this equation. What do you mean? In what equation? Are you having a conversation about, like, are you trying to say that McBride and Bowers aren't in the same tier? Is that what you're trying to say, Blico? Come on. Please don't be saying that. Don't put that out there. Don't put that receipt out there. Please. Rodgers loves Darnold. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So Muth could be moved, but where's he going to go? We just looked at the entire NFL, and I don't know. There's a lot of spots.
I'd take him on the Patriots. He'd be an upgrade, but, they have Hunter Henry, who's, like, okay. I don't know if they'll do it. They do it.
Blico's.
So Rain said he has Freiermuth, Theo Johnson, is it, from the Giants, and Waller. So that would be his tight end room if he didn't do the deal.
Blico says it was Warren and Freiermuth, I thought. I guess I'm not understanding the...
Where does Bowers come from?
Yeah, I don't understand where you're coming from on that. But I trust that you didn't say it that way. That McBride's TDs were beyond furious. Yeah, they were. Both McBride and Bowers could get 10 TDs this year each. I mean, who knows? I don't think this is a regular thing that they're not scoring touchdowns. I don't know. My final answer would be, if you love Travis Hunter as much as I do, and you're not just in love with him because I think he's going to be great. You know what I mean? If you are just like, I like him, but Smitty loves him, I'm just going to go with Smitty. Don't do that. Take the player you love. If you love Ladd as much as Travis Hunter, go get the tight end, bro, and get that extra tight end premium value. My final answer. I don't think... I don't think this is an easy question to answer, bro. The jury is still out on how good Travis Hunter is going to be, obviously. And there are going to be a lot of haters that are going to think he can't be as good as Ladd, and there's going to be people like me who say he might be a top 5 wide receiver. And Ladd, while I think Ladd can get overvalued, he's still amazing. But do I believe we'll be drafting Hunter over Ladd within one calendar year? Yes. But that's me.
Yeah. And I don't know how, time sensitive this trade is. But don't be afraid to kick the tires on a couple other tight ends, too. See what comes out.
The other thing you could do is you could poke around about trading Ladd for even more value and then you could execute upon 2 trades. So, like, let's say you needed.
He doesn't have Lad. He has Hunter.
Yeah, but I'm saying if he could shop around the concept and say,
okay.
if I get Lad, you give me MHJ and Harvey, and I'll give you Lad and a future first rounder or whatever the hell it might be. And then you execute one trade, execute the other, and you end up with Harvey, MHJ, and Tyler Warren. You know what I'm saying? Because Ladd will get you a lot more than Hunter in a trade. So, you know, you might want to look at that. See if you can order 2 trades at once.
See just in the comments how high people are on Ladd.
Yeah, you could get Ladd above MHJ by a lot, according to most people, I would imagine. Over JSN, you could get JSN and Harvey for Ladd and something. All right, Travis, glad to have you back. Appreciate you.
Yep.
See you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Smitty. I'll talk to you later.
Later, bro.
Yep. Bye.
All right, Chad, I'm out of here. Appreciate all my super chatters. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Chili. Thank you, Fullbrook. Fullbrook, you still here? Fullbrook, appreciate you, my bro. Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, everybody. See you all tomorrow. I'm going to go over to the Patreon right now. I'm going to drop the link in the live chat first of all. It's in the description of every video in case you need to find it later. So don't think, oh, what was that link? It's in the description of every freaking video. I'm going to go into the general chat on my Patreon and go, hey, all, any late night topics, boom. I do this after every show. So you want to have a line, and it's not just, hey, Smitty, can you answer my question? It's a community thing. I'm there, but it's not my community. It's not me. It's our community. So it's it's my Patreon, but I'm just saying it's not at Smitty. Can Smitty answer these questions every time? It's hey guys, what do you think? And then I chime in pretty much as I possibly can. But it's $10 a month, cancel anytime, and it's 24/7 live chatting. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than, especially like sometimes people just like to have it's like a group of friends. Like sometimes you just want to talk with people immediately, right? You're sitting there and you text a buddy, like, what do you think of this trade? And you don't ever hear back from them until the next day. Like, this is a place where like you could just live whenever you need to on there and chat. And there's like, what movies you guys watching? Like, it's just an awesome community. So cancel anytime, $10 a month, Patreon, do it live. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever big news breaks, and I'm additionally live midnights almost every single night, graveyard style. See you all tomorrow.